Hello everyone, welcome back. It's another great night to be a Terp here in College Park as we bring you all yet another Terps Esports broadcast. My name is Ives.
And my name's Tomas, and it is a great night indeed for some Terps Esports Valorant action.
That's right, Tomas. We've got a lot to cover in our pre-show for this special match that we have for you in this studio.
But before we get into the action, let's go over the rules of your typical Valorant match. Two opposing teams alternate attacking and defending several sites throughout a given map. Attackers must attack their way onto a site against the defenders to plant the spike. If they do that, the defenders must push the spike to defuse it.
For this Valorant match, the Terps are facing off against each other for bragging rights in their internal season.
Tonight, SCTU, Super C Team Ultimate, will be playing against Team Z, the ZK1 Zygotes, in the deciding match of the tournament. Winner of this best of three takes all.
So now that you know who we're facing and what's at stake, it's time for us to introduce you to the players in the studio tonight.
Void is Super Team C Ultimate's controller, making great use of that massive brain of his to tactically manipulate the match state. He just got out of an exam, so his brain is ready, but his reflexes are yet to be tested.
Yeah, definitely. Can't wait to see what he's brought for us tonight. Next up, we have Cloud. He plays Flex for the Valorant Premier Team, and as one of the players with the most experience, he'll surely be capable of filling any role necessary to drive his team to the finish line.
Absolutely. Sind is another player for the Valorant Premier Team with a specialty in initiators. He's ready to blind competitors and make it so that his team can showboat and assert dominance in this match.
Rumi is stepping in from the Big H, also known as Hagerstown tonight, to play Duelist. Hopefully, when trying for a flashy play, he doesn't inadvertently end the round for his team.
I'm not sure if I trust that entirely, but we'll see. We'll see. Fingers crossed. And finally, of course, we have Ugg, and he's going to round out the Team Ultimate tonight, playing Sentinel. He'll make sure to fill any gaps in his team ranks, making sure that they are an immovable object on top of an unstoppable force.
Yeah, and that's going to do it for our player introductions. Can't wait to step into this match. I heard they were getting so hyped. They're ready to prepare. They were just waiting on their last player, Void. He was the last one to show up. And they've already completed, I think, their bans for the maps. We've yet to hear about what the first one is going to be. But, I'm excited to see. I think I heard some talks about forcing them to play Pearl, which hearing myself was a bit of a shock because I also despise the map. I think it's kind of uncomfortable to play.
Yeah, well, I think that even Team C, who are the ones picking Pearl, don't really want to play on it either. But I think their call, if they go to that map, is that the Team Z, the Zygotes, will be just more uncomfortable than the Ultimates will be. So we'll see if they end up making that call.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that's, a good decision to make. I think when I played, there's, kind of that certain mind game that you go into when you're choosing a map. And I think, if you're going, okay, we're bad at this, but we know that these guys are worse on it, so, might as well. I mean, this is all for fun. It's not like you're trying to go with, your hyper pick. But
Yeah, I mean, I think that there's also a certain kind of pride and mental victory in picking a map that you don't want to play on. If you know that the other team is worse on it, I feel like that makes a map way more enjoyable. And so suddenly it's not just the fact that they like it more, but you're actually having fun on it too.
Yeah, definitely. And I mean, I know a lot of these guys sometimes have a bit shaky mental. I think they need everything they can get to not, find themselves in a hole, just essentially struggling to get out from their own minds. They've essentially constructed a prison for themselves, and they're just oh, I can't play, I'm so bad, I can't do anything, I suck. And it's just I don't know, man, just play the game. Yeah. You're nothing's different than tonight besides the fact that I don't know, someone hit an embarrassing clip on you or something. It's just you have to do what you have to do.
Yeah. Well, hopefully they're not going to get too much in their heads about this match. It's really, at the end of the day, it is all for fun. But knowing these players, that's going to make them want this win even more. So maybe this will be some of the most salty gameplay that we've seen all season.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think when you come into the internals and you get told it's for fun,
yeah.
You go, okay, so now it's my time to just be a jerk and be mean and be toxic to the enemy team because they are my friends, and I'm just gonna I'll see him on campus at some point and just be like, oh, hey, what's up? Remember how I beat you in internals? I'm still riding the high from my own victory in the first internal season, which I think was about 2 semesters ago, 2, 3.
Yeah.
Don't remember exactly, but, you know.
Yeah. I mean, that's certainly true. If you end up losing a match to another team, you know, everybody on campus is your supporter, but you know, every single one of these players could be in any class, and so yeah, this is going to be really quite a grudge match for such a low stakes situation. But we're already seeing a lot of aggression towards the A side of the map, and the first engagement is actually going to come off of the very silent B side, and suddenly STCU is running all the way down, and seems like they're going to be able to get onto a free site. They need to be careful of this player Link, but with the smoke down, they might just be able to get the plant down.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you hate to see, you know, someone dying that early into the match, especially a pistol round when you're the only one on site. I think it was a great play by Team C to press the advantage there, especially on Moose, their duelist playing York tonight. He's, you know, one of the premier players as well.
And we see another engagement, this time not going to go in favor of STCU as we see a 4v4, but a beautiful flash coming out. I take it back. It seems UG flashed himself, and suddenly everything is falling apart for STCU. It's a 2v1, but the spray is going to come out through the smoke, and now it's just up to this chamber in a 1v1. The tap is coming out, but now the smoke is fading. It's going to be very difficult for this Clove. They're going to go for the defuse now, but the clutch is going to come in, and that's a 4K for this chamber to start off the match.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's, you know, great tempo for that pistol round. I think a lot of it is just that pure skill and muscle memory of knowing where to shoot in that smoke there. I mean, he was just shooting blind that whole time through the smoke onto that bomb, and it's just like, okay, they can like really only be in this position because the bomb is planted in a corner. So I have to line up my crosshairs right and just click. It's point and click for him. As he was talking about, is a player that uses League of Legends to warm up.
Yeah, and you can really see that paying off, but now we're making our way into round 2, and a lot of the same aggression is going to come out, but unfortunately, Zygote's going to start off a little bit at a disadvantage again. Not as big as the first one. Moose going to get called out a little bit, and he's just going to back up, maybe even take his teleport out, but as that fades, we'll have to see what kind of calls these teams are going to make as STCU walks their way towards B.
Definitely. Right now, everything seems very slow. I think the play by the Zygotes is just to, you know, group up, not give off any picks early because you're at an incredible disadvantage after losing that pistol round. And you really just want to, you know, 5-man retake or 5-man hold the site so that you just have that advantage, the numbers advantage.
Yeah, I like this call by STCU. Just playing that advantage that you're talking about, going on this long angle on B long. But with every second that comes down, finally Moose is going to jump peek, and the jig is up. All of the players on Team Ultimate are going to start walking their way in. That's going to be one player found for the Zygotes, but Moose is going to be able to get a counter frag back, and suddenly everything isn't looking quite so good for the Zygotes. As two more players are going to fall, and it's a 4v2 with the spike down.
Right now, it's just an all-in play for this KJ here. Going to dodge a shot from the Outlaw, but not from Cloud as he swings with that Spectre. You know, it's unfortunate, but it's what's to be expected in these kind of safe rounds.
Yeah.
When you're just kind of forced into this corner, Moose is going to get, you know, one pick off of, you know, STCU. But all around, you know, they're going to keep the guns that they had, and, you know, it's what they're going to need as they, you know, the tables have kind of turned and they go into this kind of weapon disadvantage mode on their safe round here.
Yeah. We've seen what STCU brings to the table when they're up in weapons, so now we're going to see maybe what they've got planned for when they're down. So they're working their way mid, and I like this play. A lot of smaller angles here, and as they're walking their way in, good spray through the door, not quite going to find anybody. And there are 2 people bumped up on this door. It looks like STCU might just force their way through this wall, but I don't think it's the best idea. But I take that back as Joey is going to be felled. A good refrag from this fade, but they're going to fall now. Suddenly, it's a 3v3, and the weapons are evening out as 2 rifles are going to be found in mid.
Definitely, but not a non-trivial factor here is that Chamber on 10 HP, getting headshot early into the match, but Moose is gonna get this timing on Void. They don't notice each other, and he's just gonna TP back. Unbeknownst to him, 3 people are in this connector right here.
Yeah, I think that that Yoru, after seeing just barely missing that timing, thought that Team STCU was going to walk their way towards B, but I'm not even sure if STCU knows where they're going to end up. As finally, I think that the decision is being made to go to B, and a perfect timing on that call because everybody is leaving. They finally decide that maybe they were a bit hasty on that call, but it's too late as the team is walking their way on. Are we going to get a timing from this angle here? And we are, but it's not going to be in favor of STCU. Finally, they're going to be able to get that player on Heaven down, but the spikes that come down, it's a 2v1, but Chamber is on 10 HP, like you mentioned, walking their way up, and I love this angle. I love this call on the crosshair. Going to be able to find one, but is he going to be able to find the Killjoy as well? Not quite! And Zygotes are going to be able to clap back, almost losing their buy round, and while they are able to take it, that's going to be a big hit to their economy.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, when you're on your buy round and only one player survives, you're kind of going to be scrambling in this next one. You're going to be playing around, the people who can buy rifles, and those who can are probably going to be ratting in corners. I think, as I was saying, like, certain rounds you just expect to lose, but I think you can get a more favorable outcome out of that loss. And I think for STCU, that was one of them. Getting away guns as much as possible, getting that plant down for that extra money. But, I think it was still a very messy round.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. If I'm STCU after that round, I'm still pretty happy because they have the round advantage and they've got the economy advantage going into this round now. They'll need to be careful about Yoru in this corner, but they're looking towards B a little bit more, and they're going to get called out. Moose just going to get a clean pick to start off this round as STCU is going to go into this as a 4-man squad.
Yeah, definitely. And that bomb info early, getting the kill onto that Fade who had it, dropping it, letting people know, okay, this is where people are, and then, getting out. But I think to press that is a bit of a difficulty right now. Even though they know where they are, that op is not something to be trifled with. Ugg is going to take a few shots early, trying to destroy some Killjoy util. He's going to walk in with his clone and get taken out by that swing on Moose, rotating from B all the way to A to take that,
Even on Astra walking in. Do they know that there's this Waylay in the back? I don't know if Waylay knows that Astra's here either. They're both playing Ring Around the Rosie with each other, but neither of them know. Finally, they're going to take the angle, and it's a little bit of a whip from both of them, but Waylay is going to be able to take it. That's Cookies, as STCU down to their final player, as Chamber is going to be able to get one. Is he going to be able to find a second one? He is, but surely, with all of the Avengers coming in, it's all going to come crumbling down as Jam C on the Killjoy is going to be able to find him, and Zygotes are going to even up the round count.
Yeah, definitely. I think we're kind of saw a gap in, I guess, execution out of the Zygotes and STCU in that round, as Moose was capable of going back and forth between the sites to secure kills. STCU having trouble getting through those doors on mid, just funneling into a death trap there. I mean, it's a difficult position to be in right now.
Yeah, absolutely. Speaking of difficult positions, Zygotes are calling out STCU perfectly with 3 players stacked towards the side. 2 of them are playing aggressive now as they're going to be able to find one, but Void there with the refrag. JMC going to be able to find 2, and suddenly STCU is down 2 players to 3. They're going to be able to walk their way onto site, but they'll have to get through this Fade first, and maybe their call is just going to be to rotate out as the smoke is going to come out, stopping their progress entirely.
Yeah, we're just seeing, the Zygotes holding their ground here. They don't want to aggress too much. But Moose is going to get another pick and making that a double for him, finishing off the last remaining members of STCU. Very clean round. Great calling, great execution. I think what was really important there is, the Zygotes were going in a man disadvantage on that A main push. But JMC was able to just sort of equalize it there, spray down a few enemies, shooting fish in a barrel essentially, with that Phantom.
Absolutely, and I really want to point out Moose on that Yoru with the operator. He's going to be able to set up basically wherever he wants because his teleport can take him from either site instantaneously. So no matter where STCU pushes, they're going to have to deal with him. Finally, they're going to start working their way up into A, not losing anybody on this initial fight, unlike last round, but the smoke's going to come out and they still have no progress here, and not a ton of site control as the Zygotes are keeping mid completely locked down, and with that pick, that Zygotes call to just back up. They have the man advantage they want, they just need to win this round.
Yeah, holding a cross there with the Yoru and Fade, just watching for any rotates, you know, holding firm. And now the Zygotes are kind of spread across this site here, backing off from B a little bit, which Moose might be able to, and secures that kill on the only person on the B site here, forcing STCU to go for an A push here. But unbeknownst to them, there's 4 people here.
And that's going to be that Killjoy getting another pick. Ugg calling to just push out, but he's completely surrounded. The eye is going to come out. That's going to give wall hacks on him, and Zygotes are going to be able to spray him down through the box. A beautiful cleanup for the Zygotes as STCU going down 2-4, and they're not going to have money to buy this round as well. And I think Zygotes are starting to run away with it a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. And, you know, as you were saying, I think they think it too. There's a timeout coming from their coach. I think each internals player for finals is allowed to scout one coach for them, and Peaches is going to be that one for them. You know, as you can see here, he's talking to them, conveying his knowledge. But, you know, I'm just wondering about what he's going to tell them, because it's just kind of, you know, an execution gap, a strategy gap at this point. You know, we have 2 Yorus on either team. You know, we have Ugg and we have Moose, but Moose is really the only one, you know, capable of seeing the full potential of that kit that he has, using those TPs to, you know, get a pick and then, you know, instantly rotate to the other side of the map to get a pick there. It's just, you know, really emblematic of the kind of skill you know, of what it means to be a premier player for the Terps Valorant.
Yeah, I mean, I think that Team Ultimate is just trying to find a gap in the Zygotes' defense and try to take advantage of that. But like you're saying, with the ability to teleport throughout the entire map, it's really hard to find that kind of opening. And with the operator, any misstep is instantly fatal. So we'll see what STCU is going to be able to cook up on the save round of theirs as they start working their way into Art.
They're going to get smoked off there, delaying a bit of a push. They're going to back up. There are 3 people there. They're just so scared of pushing into anything. But it doesn't even matter because, you know, space has been taken. You know, someone has died B-long by Cooksies. And that's just going to put them on the back foot. They're going to re-aggress onto this Art push. But there's 2 people here holding a cross.
Yeah, that Fade is going to be so deadly the second they push. Finally, they're coming out. But Moose already with the pick, and that's going to be able to wrap them all up, even if they manage to make their way out of the site. And a beautiful push by Keybuck on that Fade, just going to be able to wrap them up. And that's going to be another round for the Zygotes, up 5-2.
Yeah, just another flawless. I mean, they're rolling in dough right now. Moose, who has the operator most expensive gun in the game, is almost maxing out on his credits here.
Yeah.
So, I mean, like, it's not even a point of, you know, getting the op out of his hands and then, like, you're fine. It's like, okay, we win 1 round, and now he just has it again.
Yeah.
So now we have to play around that again. It's just SCCU is giving up way too many picks in the early round to this op and to, you know, stragglers just being caught out alone.
Yeah, a really good call by Rumi here on the chamber, playing inside of that recalled smoke. Is finally, it looks like STCU might be able to find themselves an opening as that turret's going to go down. A good pull by Fade going to slow them down. Clove following up with the smoke is going to stop this push entirely unless STCU thinks that it might be smart to push the smoke. We'll have to see. But the Prowler is going to shut that down, getting the call that these players are still here. As we now see the Yoru ultimate, this is going to be the opening that they need to walk through this. But there's the defending Killjoy as well. So it's going to be very hard to push this, and they'll have to lose a lot of ground even if they do make it, because they're not going to be able to destroy this Killjoy in time.
That Veto ult is going to come out, making sure that they can just push that Killjoy ultimate and get the kill here. Pinned down in lanes here, but he's going to secure that kill onto the Fade. Gets taken out by Joey. And now it's a 2v2 situation.
A really, really good smoke. Going to close off Moose's sightline here, but it's recalled as SDCU is calling to end A. And I'm not sure whether or not the Zygotes are calling this rotate out. I think they're hedging their bets and keeping one player on each site, but maybe it's a good call as Fade was starting to go towards B, but instead is running full sprinting towards A. Just as Clove walks their way towards A, they're going to be able to get the plant down. It's a completely free site and perfectly played by STCU to be able to bring this 2v2 into their advantage.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, with what little util they have, they now have the ability to set up and defend while, you know, Moose is going to go in and try to aggress here in his ultimate, scout out positions where the bomb is, but he knows they're either art or in main, and as that fatal comes out, he's deaf right now, struggling to find out where people are to secure this.
Smoke's going to give them the ability to get onto the spike, but the pool is perfect to take them off of the spike, and they're going to be able to spray him down through the smoke. Clove is going to pop their ultimate. Yoru getting on the spike, hoping to be defended by Clove, but it's still going down. But as the smoke falls, SCCU is going to be able to take this round, their first in a while, and we'll see if they're going to be able to take this momentum into these next couple rounds.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think they're breathing a sigh of relief. I mean, so much util was forced into that round. A lot of ultimates, you know, Yoru ultimate on each side, the Killjoy ultimate, the Veto ultimate.
Fade ultimate.
Yeah, and the Fade ultimate at the end there. They really put everything into that round to regain some footing, get some momentum back. But as I was saying, we just have that up again. Moose hasn't really had any problems confirming kills with it so far. And I think he's just going to go again. But as 3 people come into this long push, Cooksy's going to have to back off instantly, and so is Moose as he TPs out.
Yeah, good job by STCU to clear out both of these aggressive players on this B-long angle. But as the smoke comes down, they'll have to do it all over again. Yoru faking a little bit. Nobody's going to call him out on it, though, and he's going to walk his way all the way into long.
The fake Yoru clone actually working for once as Moose is found out. I know he's so mad right now seeing like, oh, dude, I thought it was a clone. Ugh.
Yeah, he's kicking himself for sure. Every time I see one of those clones, I have to play that game, and they're not going to mess with this again. But it's almost going to be the death of him. A beautiful shot, though, by Waylay, putting an end to all this Yoru madness, but maybe a little bit too late as STCU has already walked their way into A and into spawn, going to be able to take out Cookies with his knife out, and suddenly Zygotes are not looking so strong anymore. STCU is going to be able to take this round almost certainly, as Rumi is going to be able to get this last pick, and it's all up to Joey on A side. They're able to take out one. Are they going to be able to take out a second one as the smoke starts to fade? No, they're not. Sin taking that last kill for the round, and STCU bringing it closer, only a 1-round deficit.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think we've kind of seen, you know, STCU kind of, you know, warm up, I guess, for themselves. They're doing, you know, some things that are silly. They're playing together better. Their util timings are more consistent. I think, you know, they've really become capable of, you know, playing off each other, which is, you know, essential in a Valorant match. Really, what we were seeing before is just people like going in for trying to get their ones and then dying for it. But now we see a lot more clean executions here, and we're seeing a similar story here from last round on the B site here, but I know they're tensing in anticipation for UG to, you know, fake a Yoru clone here.
Yeah, the question here for me is whether or not they're going to do that again, because there's always the mind game of surely they won't do it twice in a row. Surely I don't have to shoot this Yoru clone. Rumi, a beautiful timing, just barely going to be able to get out with their life, and they're just going to take that teleport and meet up with the rest of their team on this retake as STCU trying to push their way onto site here. Beautiful spray by Cookies, going to be able to stop the plant even if they're going to lose their life for it. STCU trying to stick the plan again. I'm not sure if they're ready for the Yoru, who is in halls, who's going for the angle. Rumiko, they're ready for that. And UG going to be able to take out the second player. It's all up to JMC on this angle. Going to shoot him in the back, but he still has 2 players left to find, and not a lot of time to do it, as the spike is already ticking down, and Rumi is going to be able to get the third for himself on this round and even out the scoreline, picking up that up as well.
Yeah, I mean, you know, I think the Zygotes kind of, I guess, lost it a bit when 2 people on that entry to site just died instantly, leaving it down to JMC. You know, when I was talking about like cohesion and like playing together, that's kind of something that, you know, I guess has been lost by the Zygotes over that timeout. Definitely, you know, not as organized as we saw in those first few rounds. I think this momentum shift is really getting to them as we see this ultimate come out. 2 people are going to go down for SDCU against the 1 for Zygotes, as Cloud holds off in this heaven here to stop a mid-aggress.
Yeah, Clove did come out a little bit scratched as well, so not quite as uneven as Zygotes would be hoping for, but Rumiko going to miss that op shot, and now the jig is up as far as that aggression is concerned, and SCCU are probably going to have to find a different entrance into sight somehow, as they're working their way towards mid. Just walking into Art, taking a little bit of an altercation with the turret, but fortunately he is going to be able to come out on top. That would have been maybe a little bit embarrassing if he hadn't, but
JMC with the buggy here. Holding main. He's going to get one. Unable to get the other on Cloud. He's too far away for all those pellets to hit. Going to get away with 50 HP. He's going to get that bomb down now. But, you know, it's a 3v2 right now for this retake.
Yeah. Good use of ability by that Veto just to be able to get out. But as that spike, as that smoke is going to be able to completely shut off all these kinds of angles, Cloud just having to guess, and unfortunately he's not going to guess right, as this bomb is halved, and it's going to be diffused entirely. Kibok coming in with the spray to take out Rumi and bring Zygotes back into the lead.
Yeah, I mean, that 2A main, when you don't have as much util as you would want, is really unfortunate. You know, a chamber veto post plant is kind of difficult, especially when you have, you know, everyone, you know, the Zygotes had already cleared all other possible angles besides main, so they know they're both there, so you just smoke the bomb, you have someone defuse, and the 2 other teammates, because you're in a 3v2, you just hold that and you watch them.
Yeah.
And they fell.
Yeah, I mean, Chamber and Veto are both Sentinels. They are pretty good at holding on a site, but the problem is that SDCU just didn't have quite as much control on the map as they would have hoped, and so they didn't have enough to hold. So JMC going to be forced to hold down the site entirely, as Yoru is going to teleport out. The Molly is there, and it's going to allow Kibok to get 2 on the defense, but SDCU evening out the score. But Kibok gets a third, and now SDCU down numbers. They're going to have to find something in this round to even it out, because they are not looking super hot in this.
Moose is zeroed in on this A main angle, just waiting for someone to dare to peek him. He sees his shoulder, misses his shot, and he's going to have to reposition. But UG is there, just staying a bit too long for him, and is going to get taken out.
Cookie's going to get the spray through the corner of the wall, and that's going to be it for this first half. Zygotes up 5-7, but I think it's worth noting that especially STCU, very defensive team here. We've got 2 Sentinels. Astra much better on attacking than defending. Oh, sorry, on defending, I mean. Just because, you know, a lot of their abilities center around stopping these pushes. And, you know, really it's just this Yoru as the entry here. And frankly, Yoru wants to be defending more than attacking because of the fact that they can take so many angles. And, you know, these aggressive angles, not a ton of util to get themselves set up for. Really just works out better to reposition themselves after the position is used. So I'm curious to see how SCCU is going to be able to push through this with such a defensive team.
Definitely. I mean, Cloud is in the backside here, seeing that dash come in. He's going to get the first pick, but they know he's here. That's not going to stop him as he gets 2, but gets taken out and it's just an all-out brawl. You know, SCCU coming out on top in this pistol spray. And JMC UG is right behind him, even if he wished to back out of here.
Rumiko's there, and he's going to be able to take that kill, and SCCU working their way back into this match. Only one round down, but you know, keep in mind they have such a huge economic advantage in this round as well that it's going to be really, really difficult for the Zygotes to take this round. SCCU posing themselves to be able to even out this match.
Definitely. I mean, SCCU 2 for 2 on pistol rounds. You'd think that the scoreline would be a bit more in their favor because of it, but they're just going to use it to, you know, secure these few rounds. Hopefully not give anything up. I know they're coming into this round at an advantage, but it's no spot to get complacent now.
Looks like Zygotes looking to double down on their A take as they've got 3 players working that side of the map. And nobody super aggressive on holding that A side, willing to just hold down mid and make sure they don't lose too much pace on the map. And maybe it's a good call because Zygotes are looking to reposition themselves towards B side. They need to be careful though. That chamber with the Outlaw, essentially an operator, maybe even a little bit stronger because none of the Zygotes have full armor. So they're all going to be downed by one fell shot. We'll have to see how they're going to play around such a difficult obstacle.
Definitely. I mean, I think it was a good call to rotate here. There's only one person. If they can just flush him out with util, they should be capable. But as you're saying, there's no buy. But both shots are going to be missed by Rumioka. He's going to be forced into this corner here as the bomb goes down. Just right-clicked by Cooksies. And that's going to be a free sight for the Zygotes as they get into this 4v4 retake.
Well, that's one way to win a gunfight. You don't need to win it. You just need to let the other player lose it. And now Zygotes are looking very strong on this defense. They've got that Outlaw, which is now more of a one-shot to STCU, and so they're going to have a very difficult time pushing their way into Hall to clear out the site.
Yeah, 2v2. Things still equal as Cooksies misses the first shot and gets sprayed out by Sind. The util is going to go out on that bomb. They're going to be forced to push JMC. Gets the first one.
Just a classic in hand, but it might be all he needs because Void going to be able to get the kill, but it's not going to be enough. Not only is the bomb going to go down, but I think it's going to take out the rifle with him. And Zygotes cannot be hoping for a better round. They take out every single player. STCU is completely broken this round, and they were not even able to take the round. So, yeah, Zygotes looking really, really strong now as they're looking to go up 3 rounds after this.
Definitely. I mean, no one dying in that initial push onto the B site is great for them because, you know, they can use what little util they have to stall for as long as they can. They were still at a gun disadvantage, and, you know, they lost those fights. You know, the only person left alive is the Astra on the defending side. But, you know, if it's just a time game when you get the bomb down at that point. So, you know, the stall was great, and, you know, I think it was an efficient usage of the team.
Absolutely. We'll see now what STCU is going to pull out on this pistol round, see if they're going to be able to make something out of nothing. But it looks like they haven't even quite decided which way they're going to push, as most of them are still in spawn. I mean, they do have 24 seconds on the clock, as I think we're getting a tech pause or something of the sort. And, yeah, I'm really curious what they're going to pull out for this round, because they are not going to have the easiest time on this.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you lose your buy round, and then, you know, you're relegated to pistols as the team that didn't buy now can just, like, rebuy or use the weapons. You know, no one got away with their life, so you're just rebuying earlier than usual. I mean, no, I'm getting the timeline mixed up. This is the same rate at which you would buy, but you've already won that round, so you have a little bit of padding. You're not forced down to exactly 0 credits. So, you know, you can buy util, you can do what you like as we get into this A aggress.
I like how much space Zygotes have been able to take on B as they're working their way all the way into sight, but all of STCU is there ready to push out. They're going to be able to find one, and somehow one for one trade is Cookies is forced out, but the plant is going to go down, and as soon as these smokes go down, it's going to be very difficult for STCU to make much space at all. It's all down to this final Yoru, who's at half HP, and so he's going for the fake Yoru play, but they're not having any of it. Zygotes are going to go up 9-6, only losing one player on that fight. Really, really happy with that round.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, it was really just okay, we're gonna lose this round. It was very difficult. You know, you only had one person really holding that A site, and they're getting util dumped out there by the Waylay. Um, you know, difficult round, difficult position, but I think they believe in themselves enough to win this when they're both at full buys. You know, and possibly if not, we might see another timeout come out from STCU.
Yeah, I think this is really going to be the round in question. Whoever's going to be able to take this. Rumi not overstaying his welcome. Sin going to be able to take advantage of that, but unfortunately Joey is there to get the refrag, and STCU at only a 4v4. They were hoping for something a little bit better, but with these smokes coming down, they need to ward off these players in Art. They've got nobody in mid to do so, though. It's going to be all up to the people on site to keep them off of the site.
They're going mid to B, though, as that bomb was still in the back of spawn, and someone's going to pick it up right now as all of them are in lanes right now trying to push onto this Vito. He's going to have to back up to main.
Yeah, I love this play by Cloud, just letting them onto site, giving them a false sense of security. Are they even going to be ready for somebody to be main? Kiak isn't. He's going to fall, but Cookies is there to get the refrag, but there's still another player long. It's that Yoru, but you know, that's the kind of player that you expect to see on a flank. I don't know if anyone has eyes on this, though. Cookie's going to be able to get out Rumi and also tease out this Yoru on the flank. So now Zygotes have all the information they need, and we'll see how STCU is going to be able to overcome this.
Definitely is a tough situation as one person is pushing for heaven and one from long, but Ugg is going to get that first kill, but the Clovolt comes out. It's still a 2v1, and Joey Doggo on that second time, the rematch, will finish off Ugg, making it 10-6 for the Zygotes. And, you know, they're in a tough spot right now.
Yeah.
I'm not going to sugarcoat it. STCU is forced to, you know, half buy here, make sure they can buy full the next round. You know, really struggling as, you know, they lose 3 more rounds. It's essentially over for them in this first map. And most likely, this round is going to be the first of those 3.
Yeah, absolutely. So, really, they're going to have one round of, you know, unless they're really able to pull off something miraculous here, they're going to have one round of error. A good flash coming out, not going to find anybody, and Ugg is going to get called out on this aggression. So now, fortunately, Cloud is there with the timing on Moose, but will his one Vandal be enough to keep the entirety of site held?
And he's going to hit that Veto ultimate so he is safe from any util dumping that happens on this site here. But no one's pushing yet. I think they're just kind of waiting and seeing. We have JMC holding a flank, ready to get this chamber that is walking through their spawn right now. But there's another person here. There's going to be 2 people here on the rotate, but they're just holding right now because they're expecting one from the Zygotes.
Yeah, there's so much silence here that somebody has to make something happen, and fortunately STCU has the advantage in this situation because they're happy to just sit and wait, but unfortunately Vito is not going to be able to fight anybody with that Vandal, and as the Killjoy ultimate is going to come out, STCU is going to have to play safe, and unfortunately they're going to get called out by JMC. Are they ready for the second player? JMC is not, and Rumiko is walking down with this weapon in hand, going to be able to pick up the rifle as well. Will he be able to make anything? Will Fade have to do it for him? We'll have to see.
Definitely he has his teleport and 3 guns in his, you know, sheriff here, but
love this play by
he's
Zygotes,
missing the clear
all the way
here.
to Hulls, and STCU is going to fall. They just weren't ready for everybody to be in every single angle there, and Zygotes are going to be able to take that round. This was expected. Now the question is, STCU going into the timeout with rifles. This is going to be the round that they need to win. If they lose this round, it's going to be very, very difficult for them to bring this match back. If they win this round, though, it could be the start of the momentum they need.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, that's the timeout we expected to see. Once you lose that bye round and then, you know, your save rounds are done, you're back into the same position you were where you lost. On even footing here, you really just kind of need some guidance, some direction of where to go. I think that timeout we saw in, you know, the last half was pretty beneficial for STCU to try and equalize the game here. It was a 7-5 half. they've only got the first pistol round. As I was saying, they went 2 for 2 on pistol rounds, but everything else is kind of, not as much, not as good as they want it to be. Their pistol gameplay is incredible, but their everything else not so much. I think in those few brief rounds where SDCU turned it around, they had great, organization, synergy. They were using util on great timings. But as we're seeing right now, it's not so much. They're just, okay, I'm going to hold the site, and then someone's already dying in that push, so you come into the retake at a disadvantage, and then you're just kind of funneling onto site and getting caught out.
Sin going to be able to clear out some of mid. Void here with Chamber going to be forced to back up as Void gets 2. Rumiko is going to fall to Moose, unfortunately, but that's absolutely the start of the round that STCU needed. Moose opting to just slow down this round, get the ult orb and back up, but, after cutting their losses, once all is said and done, Zygotes are just down a player and not a lot to show for it. Maybe a little bit of mid control, that's all.
Definitely, and unable to secure the kill on the Astra there means that ultimate is still up for a possible retake here as they make a play for the B site here.
Shooting down the Veto util is going to notify STCU where Zygotes are going to end up pushing. Veto is there on the angle, going to be able to find one and getting even more aggressive, jumping down. Is he going to be able to find the second one? Dodges the flash, is able to find Moose as well, and he pushes forward. Joey, surrounded on all angles, is going to fall, and Zygotes get the win they needed. They have another 5 rounds to win to bring this match to overtime. One more if they're able to take it all the way to a victory. But Zygotes only need 1 for overtime, 2 for the victory. So STCU definitely still a good bit of hill left to climb.
Definitely. I mean, I think, we're seeing an improvement of, the kind of gunplay that STCU had pulled off in that previous round. I think it wasn't even an execution thing. It was just a skill diff at that point.
Cookie's not going for the aggression that he normally does. Moose is going to commit to it, however, and that's going to be his fatal flaws. He's just going to fall, and Zygotes are looking like their perfect strategy is not quite so perfect. Down in numbers yet again, in basically the same way.
Just a 4v5 here. JMC is going to get spotted out mid here. No one is leaning too heavy to one site here for the defense. They're pretty well spread out, making sure that they have everything covered, and Rumioka is going to get that first kill on the reaggress here on the A site.
That's just another player lost for Zygotes, and look how low that Killjoy is. Basically 1 health. I wish I could tell what exactly that value is, but let me tell you what, one little breath from any weapon, even a molly, is going to be able to put them down. As they're going to be in charge of the spike, it's going to be very difficult for them to get that down, like I said. So we'll see how they're going to be able to do this.
Yeah, we're just seeing STCU prepare for this push. Util comes out, so does the Astra ultimate, and that's just going to be a clean defense. The Zygotes are going to get that bomb down, but no one's there to defend it.
Yep. And STCU, this is what they needed. Up 8-11, and I think Zygotes are starting to maybe run low on cash a little bit. So Zygotes maybe getting a little bit nervous. This is the point of the game, if you're the Zygotes, where you start questioning, are we not going to win this game? I thought it was over. I thought we already won. So they're going to need to maybe call a timeout and reevaluate what they're doing and what they need to change. But STCU is looking suddenly very, very good.
Definitely. I mean, those top 3 players, Void, Cloud, and Rumioka, have been putting up incredible numbers on defense here to try and, make the most of this situation. I think those are the big threats they have to look out for.
Rumi robbed. That looks like that op shot should have gone through 1, maybe even 2 of those players.
Unfortunately, it went through none, as that's a shot missed, and information on where players are. The decision on whether or not they want to push this chamber or not is about to be made in a few seconds here, and I think they're opting for it, as 4 people coming to Art with that Waylay A main. They're preparing for all hands on deck.
Like this Fade util kind of masking this Chamber's existence. Sin's gonna be able to push out and get the kill, but it's going to fall. And now, after all is said and done, Zygotes 3-3 as they push their way onto site. Are they ready for Void? They are gonna be able to find them. It's all up to Vito and Yoru on this retake. Yoru does have his ultimate though, very, very impactful. Gonna get all the information they need, and you know, Fade is very low on health as well, so that could be the opening that SDCU needs. Able to find out that Waylay. Are they gonna be able to find anybody else? Fade ultimate's gonna come out, so might be low on health, but still gonna be able to put in plenty of work into this round. And yeah, this Waylay just not taking any kind of bait, not pushing at all until the perfect timing when the players have looked away. Gonna be able to find this Yoru, at least the clone, but it doesn't matter what happens now because there's no time left on the spike. Finally, Zygotes are going to be able to clean up this play. And they're going to go up 12-8 SDCU. No more room for error. They need to win every round from here on out to bring it to overtime.
Yeah, I mean, it's a tough position. You thought the kind of tide was shifting. The momentum was changing. But just a great execution by the Zygotes is going to bring it back around. SDCU, you know, really kind of whiffing on that Art, you know, hold. Yeah. And, you know, not a lot of people rotating. You had 2 people on that B site, and I think they're kind of reacting to the last round by having only 1 person there, and they're expecting an A push.
Moose going to be able to find Rumi on this early round, and suddenly STCU is definitely sweating. Void going to be able to neutralize it. They needed that because if Zygotes takes too much in this round, that's all over. STCU does not have another round to take after this. As all the players on the Zygotes still clumped up towards a main. We'll see if they end up pushing through this, but the smoke's going to come out, and that might just be the call that Zygotes need to go and rotate, but they're still just clumping up. They might be committing to this.
All silence right now as the players are expecting what to do. Right now we're just seeing a rotate out. Moose is the only one here A main still, just trying to hold off, make a little bit of noise, watch for some, you know, people trying to push, but no one's going to do anything. They're all expecting the other one to do something, but no one's doing anything. As 3 members of the Zygotes take to this mid, they're opting for an Art play or possibly a B push.
A good smoke coming out, but unfortunately Cookie's going to get a little bit too big for his britches, going to fall, and Moose trying to make a play towards A. Going to be able to open up the site now as the rest of the Zygotes are grouping up with him, but they need to be careful of this player here in Garden. Plans is coming out. Are they going to allow this to happen? It seems like they're going to let the smoke go down, but a lot of Yuto getting dumped onto Joey. Not going to be able to take advantage of it is Void. Moose, sorry, there to take out Void. Sin on the refrag. That's going to be a huge pick. Joey popping his ultimate. Are they going to let him get away with it? It looks like they just might, but Ugg going to put him down for a second time, and it's all up to this Killjoy. The turret going to get shot down, and Ugg is there to take it and keep STCU in this match 12-9 as they need 3 more rounds after this. STU refusing to go down.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, they're really excited about that, and they're cheering. They're happy that their teammate could pull off the clutch there. You know, I think as they were getting to that retake, you know, I think the mental was starting to already take a turn, but I think that clutch up was just what they needed to keep them going and possibly put them, you know, in a better position mentally and economically, I guess, against the Zygotes in this round here.
Yeah. And I just want to point out, I feel like Moose has been, you know, kind of the star in a lot of these rounds, getting that huge, important kill early, but the rest of his team is actually playing with an even higher KDA than he is they're going to start to work their way onto A-Site without him, as he's going to be caught going into his ultimate, but it doesn't matter because somehow Zygotes is still going to be able to get this plant down. Unfortunately, they lost 2 players on this entry, and they need to find a way with their stingers to push even further. Joey is going to be able to take out Void as we get quite a few ultimates coming out from STCU they may be a little bit nervous about this retake, but they need to get rid of this Killjoy. They need to get rid of it quickly. They decide to get rid of the Killjoy herself instead of her ultimate, as the plant is going to come out, and STCU is still in this. The Zygotes were on a save round that round, and things are not looking so good anymore, as STCU really only needs one more round, and then they'll have an advantage in that last round if they're able to take this.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, the Zygotes are kind of opting for, saving for last round. They don't want to waste everything here and then be lost and forced into OT here. But Moose, as you were talking about in the beginning of that first round, has really kind of fallen off in trying for those aggressive early plays. I think more often than not on this attacking side, he has, lost those fights and given up first blood.
We'll see what the Zygotes are going to be able to do. They're going for a lot of aggression mid. Makes sense. They are on a save round on this round as well. As we see that eyeball coming out, and it's going to give Cloud the opportunity to spray them down through the smoke, but unfortunately a lot of aggression was coming through mid. Not ready for it was Sin, as he's going to fall, but Ugg is there to close it out, and it's now just up to JMC. He's going to be able to find Ugg, but he's brought down to 5 HP now. One shot from anything is going to be able to do it, but we have only a lot of heavy hitters on STCU, so maybe 5 health isn't going to be the most important aspect on this. It's going to be whether or not JMC is going to be able to take this round, and he's not. Is Cloud going to be able to put him down 3 for the round, and STCU on overtime point if they're able to take this. Zygotes, though, still on match point. After all that we've seen now, if they don't win this round, STCU is just as much in this as they've ever been.
Yeah, and we're seeing the first time out for the Zygotes coming out here in the last match. They're getting some, words of wisdom from the coach of the Terps Premier Valorant team. Probably going to tell them about how, maybe their early round aggression is a bit too much and they're, giving things away too early. Might possibly see a bit of a slow take here as we get into the last round.
Yeah, I mean, I think that they've been resting on their laurels of just being able to win these early round 1v1s without, using a lot of abilities. But suddenly STCU has been playing just a little bit faster than them, and now Zygotes, I agree. I think that they just need to put down some smokes and do a smart site clear and then play for the post plant, because that was what was working in the beginning, and I think they've lost it a little bit.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think that's a bit of an understatement. 3 rounds back to back in the favor of STCU to, claw back this game is really nothing short of a miracle based on the performance they were putting up previously. But they've gotten the bomb down consistently. They just need to make sure that they're not giving up too many kills in the efforts of that.
A lot of aggression from STCU here. We'll see if it ends up counting for anything. Joey going to be able to take out Sin. That's a lot of aggression towards mid, as Zygotes have somehow managed to completely surround this chamber. He's going to go down to JMC, and Zygotes are up now 4-3. They're going to be able to get their way on the side, and they're going to pick up Ugg while they're at it. It's all up to Void and Cloud. After all of this, are Zygotes just going to be able to take the round in regulation and take it to map 2 with an advantage?
I mean, it could be, but, that long time to get the bomb down has given the last 2 remaining members of SDCU the chance to creep up onto this B site. We have one from their spawn and one from lane coming up. Cloud is going to miss the first player and go down, but Void making it a 1v3. He has ultimate. He could do anything, and I think we're going to see it come out. He's trying his best to maintain space. He spots a player, but the first one he takes contact with is going to take him down, and that's a close victory for the Zygotes here in the first match. Yeah. I mean, 13-11, I think that's really not what you want to see, but, a win is a win, and I'm sure, they're excited to see, they're excited that they won. That puts them a step further, probably hoping for a quick, 2-0. Bit messy. I think, definitely some of the team synergy that's been built up hasn't really lasted, I would say. I think, these people come from all different kinds of places. Some people play Valorant for the school. Some people play League, Overwatch, whatever. And, that team cohesion is definitely like it separates you from first and second place, definitely. And that win is going to help them maintain that over this series.
Yeah, absolutely. And I think it's worth noting as well, that was Team Ultimate's map pick. They were hoping to make Team Zygotes maybe a little bit uncomfortable with a map that they don't really like, and it ended up biting them in the butt a little bit as Zygotes were able to, as we saw, to take that map. So we'll have to see what Team Ultimates are going to pull out for this next round. But before then, we're going to cut to a quick ad break, and we'll see you right after this.
My name is Subin Kim, my in-game name is Carrots, and I'm the controller of this team.
My name is Hannah, my IGN is Tuxedo Sam, and I play Sentinel for the team.
My name is Sima, my in-game name is Care Bear, and I'm a flex.
My name is Megan, my IGN is Giraffe, and I'm an initiator.
My name is Sophia, my IGN is Soap, and I'm an initiator.
Hi everyone, I'm Ayush, my in-game name is Dulcexa, and I'm the coach.
For me, I think it was just really interesting to see like our names on like social media and like on a website. I'm just like, whoa, my name is on a website but so I think that was like the number one thing that kind of like just it brought the realization of like what kind of team I'm in, like what kind of position I'm in.
Meeting them. It's like hard to make a woman and non-binary friends in Valorant, so it's just really nice that we have like a team specifically for that.
The studio.
Yeah.
Oh, the studio.
The
Oh,
studio.
I didn't even know that existed. I didn't know that existed until like remember like when we first talked about the studio, I was like, what's that? When I first went to the room, I was like, oh, there's cameras and lighting. I'm just like, that's
Nice computer.
Nice computer.
The monitors
So
are crazy.
true.
Winning.
Yeah.
Oh, so true.
Yeah.
W winning.
Getting that.
Yeah, that
Yeah, I feel like
was pretty cool.
Plastic.
hey. I would say supportive is definitely like Dusty and Rachel. Those two, just like making sure we had scrims down, making sure we had practice schedules down. Like Dusty making sure like to pick out what we did wrong, just like helping us improve. I think definitely.
Yeah, Dusty's a very present coach, so
Very.
it's like he's really reliable and helped us through the whole season.
Thanks, team.
Yeah, you'd even like schedule things for us,
Like organize all those schedules.
help us map bands and like talk to
Stats,
them
yeah.
if like realize if one of them was like unranked or something. Breaking a
Forfeit
rule,
teams.
making teams forfeit.
Maybe we don't talk about that last part.
I would also say like our fans in chat, like on
Oh,
stream and
true.
stuff. It was nice knowing
W
people
chat.
watching us.
And the haters.
Oh yeah.
Improve in the higher division.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, it is definitely more challenging because we're in a higher division now. But I think we could with our coordination. I definitely think we could. We need to bring home another one of these.
It feels great.
You
Yeah.
guys know this is the first title that Terps Esports has won.
Wait, seriously?
And by
really?
women.
Oh, seriously? Oh,
First time.
cool.
I like playing Valorant.
Have an excuse to play games.
That's true. That's good.
For me, I joined because I've always wanted to be on a women's team, especially since I got to UMD, and me and Dusty had always tried to make teams work every semester, and this was the first time it actually did work and stuck, and the people who tried out were committed. So I guess I've always just wanted to be on a women's team to connect more to that community.
To make friends.
So I had that gap, without a team for a while, and then I saw the form, and I was like, I really want to try this. This sounds fun. And then, yeah, I play Valorant too much. think, I mean, first of all, I did not imagine me being IGL when I first started because I am outside of my Lilac team. I am known as the no brain, only aim chamber in comp. So I did not imagine myself being IGL. But like, I think it's like if there were some difficulties in the beginning because no one like I wasn't used to giving out comms. I was just very confused. But I think now it's just like the amount of trust that my teammates give me when I give out comms and the amount of like coordination that we have. Like I just love being like IGLing because I trust that things will work out.
And welcome back. We are going to be hopping into this game in just a second, Game 2, and we'll see what Team Ultimate is going to be able to bring into this next round because, as we saw, they had quite a heartbreaking defeat in Game 1.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I know that, they were talking in the studio about, their team matchups, their synergy between, the agents that they're picking, their 2 Sentinel, 2 Initiator type thing. I think, Team Zygotes had 2 Duelists, and Team C in the studio here had 2 Sentinels. But, the ones who had the better, in my opinion, I guess, synergy with their utility, and really were great at, making those aggressive plays happen and kind of not getting punished as much for it, was Team Zygotes. And I think Team C in the studio here understood that as well. So they're talking it up, looking to change some things. And I think as I'm hearing right now, we might be able to see what has changed in the second map.
Yeah, I'm curious to see. We'll be jumping into that in just a second. What I'm hoping to see, and I think this is what the Team Ultimate was talking about as well, is just some more ability to push into a site. Either have another duelist or another initiator, something to facilitate, breaking through these smokes or breaking through, the other sentinel gadgets that Team Zygotes are going to use on this map because, yeah, frankly, they didn't have quite enough of that, and it really showed because, on post plants and early round situations, I think STCU was just struggling a little bit to make any kind of headway as far as space is concerned. But this round's going to start off, and yeah, we see now Yoru and Raze on both teams as Zygotes are going to come out swinging on this first round. 3 individual engagements going to go their way as STCU now down to 2 players. But they are going to be able to get the spike down towards B-side. And it's going to be up to Void on that Clove as well as Sind on that player to get their way onto site. Flash is going to come out. Not quite going to be able to find anything, but Cookies is going to be found by that Sheriff, and Sind is on the attack, looking to find another player. Is he going to be able to get an ace to start off this round, or are the Zygotes going to be able to start this round off with a win? Yeah, jumping through that window is going to be so difficult, and unfortunately, just not going to end up being possible at all as Keybock on that chamber going to start off that round. And
yeah, all 3 players on the side of Team Zygotes were really just taking turns peeking him. And I think he did, a great effort of trying to equalize that retake with his 2 kills. But unfortunately, not enough. 5 people on a team, and only one person can only do so much, especially when they've already expended their util. Getting close to site, getting out onto it is a whole nother beast.
Absolutely. So we'll see what they're going to bring into this next round. But Team Ultimates are going to be down, and we were talking about how strong they are on pistol rounds. We'll have to, but apparently Team Zygotes have some tricks up their sleeve as well.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think as we're hearing now, just a lot of fighting. I heard some Bucky shots, some Spectres firing. Not a whole lot for us to see right now, but I think Bomb is going to go down. Just relaying it to you.
Yeah, so if I had to guess, Zygotes a little bit of a difficulty getting all the way onto site, but they were able to get their way through it eventually, and we see now that STCU is down 2 players to 5. Seems like maybe they didn't have any kind of difficulty whatsoever, as STCU just hoping for some exit frags in this case. Not too much hope at all to win this round or even get a pick maybe fully depends on how aggressive Zygotes is here.
I mean, we're seeing Cloud mess up a bit of a nade there and is going to net his own teammate. He is definitely, you know, going a bit crazy about it in the studio right now. Just a bit, you know, embarrassed, I'd say, because Cooksies is just like, okay, I can't move, but it's like, I don't know. You can't move either, and you're already close enough to me for this Bucky to do damage.
Yeah, that was we're gonna pretend that didn't happen. Just a weird technical glitch entirely, such that we have no idea what happened whatsoever in that second round. But I guess Zygotes were able to get through it, and now STCU on their weapons. We'll see what kind of defense they're gonna be able to put together. Keep in mind, this is an offensive-sided map with 2 offensive-sided teams, so STCU really just hoping to get whatever rounds they can in this half, and then they'll make up the difference on the second half. Beautiful shot by Cooksies. Going to be able to put down one. Sin finally going to be able to put him down in return, but STCU not able to find a clear advantage in this round. Is still a 2v2 once all the dust is settled, all is said and done, and they might just end up taking this rotate over to B-side.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, you know, what really astonishes me is the fact that the Raze is able to get into Lamp so easily with a Bucky. I mean, no one's contesting that, especially on a round where people have long-range weapons. I think Cloud is going to, you know, ground the Joey over here, but Moose is on the other side of the site, but Sin's right there to take him out. I mean, you know, bit messy. Maybe you don't want to give as many kills up on your bye round, but, you know, all in all, it's a win.
Yeah, and that's the kind of win that STCU needs, because if Zygotes are able to start getting some momentum early in this, it's going to be very, very difficult for STCU to claw back. We've seen how they play at a deficit. They're able to bring it back for sure, but they weren't quite able to take it all out, and we're seeing a tech pause coming out from Team STCU. I'm curious what they are going to be able to pull off, but yeah, we'll see that after this tech pause goes through.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, we're seeing, you know, possibly some technical difficulties for players, as some people are yet to move in this round right now. Just trying to sort that out. Possibly, you know, or maybe they're just using the tech pause as a facade to, you know, cheat and take out some other players before someone's booking it to Richie right now as you speak, and are just like, you turn off the PC right now, I need this win.
Yeah.
But I don't think that's true, as everyone's already ready and we're going to resume.
It'll be one hell of a sprint if he was able to make it there on time, but we'll see what kind of movement we see over on the side of Zygotes, but it seems like they're moving just fine, so I'm not one to call cheats quite so easily, so we'll see what STCU is going to bring into this fourth round here. A lot of aggression towards showers, as we've seen kind of every round, actually. Very interesting how this has become kind of the epicenter of this match. And beautiful dog going to be able to clear out all of showers, and a good spray by Kebik going to be able to take out Yoru, but Void there with the Bucky going to be able to even out the match, and we'll see now how this engagement is going to continue. Flash out for Moose, but he's just going to take that stun and back up. A lot of ultimates coming out. Sky with her cabbages not quite going to find anything as it walks right past Kebik. One of them getting stuck, I think. And Zygotes looking to try to bait out some kind of engagement from STCU, and they're going to get exactly what they asked for. Maybe they shouldn't have asked for it at all, as Rumi is going to be able to find one. Zygotes now down 2-3.
Kabak is going to get that headshot of the Outlaw onto Cloud, making it a one-shot there, and just waiting for anyone else to peek him. But unfortunately, he didn't see Sin swing all the way out onto him. He's going to get that kill. Moose in a 1v3 now. No bomb, no nothing. Headshot through the smoke. 10 HP in a dream, and I think that dream is just to stay alive and keep your gun. As 20 seconds left on the clock, he's just relegating himself to a corner there. And I think, you know, he used his ultimate and a lot of his util to try and take space onto site, but not only was his team not there, but STCU was already prepared with their own Sentinel util, that deadlock, stunning him, forcing him to TP out. I think, they did a great job of holding that site and making sure Moose couldn't do what he was doing on that Pearl match.
Yeah, and what I like to see out of that round is that STCU is absolutely playing with that aggression that they were hoping to. We see them taking these aggressive fights before the bomb is even down. It's what they were saying they were not able to do with their comp last round, and to see them playing like this really gives me hope that they're going to be able to turn this around and bring this to game 3. We'll see now after the Zygotes on this half buy. It's going to be very difficult for them to get a round win here, but they've got still a very dangerous buy, so I would not count them out of it just quite yet.
Definitely. I mean, Ugg with that op is going to secure his first kill there. And this wall from the deadlock in showers is going to stop the aggression that we've seen so far. Rumioka shooting through it, getting 2. It's just an unfortunate circumstance to be in. I mean, the Zygotes, I don't think they've had this showers play work out at all since, pistol round, essentially.
Yeah. Curious why they're committing to it, but STCU is definitely happy to take it while they can. Is up 5-2 in this round, just pistols in hand for the side of Zygotes. Not sure if they have too much of a hope of winning this round, but anything can happen, especially with Sheriffs. So deadly for just 800 credits.
Definitely. I mean, that Skydog is going to see that Clove here on the A site, but not anyone else. The other 2 members of the team. And with that util out, it's just kind of signifying, okay, we're here. 30 seconds left on the clock. They're just backing up. They want to go showers again. The place that has been the worst for them so far. Luckily, no one is in it yet, but 3 people on this site here, holding with an op, waiting for this swing. Gonna get smoked out.
Oh, I was hoping you would click a little bit sooner, but Rumi definitely wasn't hoping, as he's going to be able to get both of those kills and put a 4K in for this round. Really nice for the KD. Is STCU up 3-2 now. I think this is the first round advantage that they've had this entire match, and we'll see if they're going to be able to keep the momentum going for them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think Rumioka putting up 4 was definitely what won them that round there. I think both him and Sind have been capable of, putting a round on their back so far.
Yeah.
But maybe as things change up and the Zygotes opt for this B push, we might have to see some other players step up.
Finally deciding not to go showers, and it's going to work out for them, as this is STCU's weak side, but suddenly it's looking like any side is Zygotes' weak side, as they're down 4-2, 4-1, maybe not, as Joey's going to be able to get a pick, and STCU is happy to just back up, use their abilities, and stabilize for this round, but they need to be careful because it's very easy for Sky to get trapped out here. Fortunately, we do see that other Clove on STCU's side there to support that Sky and help them get out, as Zygotes now looking to rotate maybe towards that A side.
Definitely, and I mean, when you have those 5 people on B, you have no one watching A, you can just teleport instantly to that fight mid, and that's what Rumioka did, and was able to secure 2. It's just, that person in showers has been a nuisance, but, nothing stopping him from just coming to be with you when you have no one watching that A site.
Yeah, good call by Zygotes to go to that B side. They're going to be able to get this plant down, but they need to hurry it up maybe just a little bit, because it's going to be difficult for Moose to find anybody. Going for the swing, going to be able to find one. Caught that enemy Yoru with his... I don't even know what was that. I think it might have been his clone. It certainly wasn't the weapon. Moose is going to be able to get out with his life, and now STCU looking not quite as strong as they would have hoped. Only 2v2, and they need to get their way back onto the spike. Clove with that jump peek is going to see a lot of information that both of these players are walking towards the U-Haul side. The Clove ultimate is going to come out not a moment too soon, as he's going to be able to get that pick and close out that round, as that could have been very, very scary for the Zygotes, but fortunately they're going to be able to even out this map. And 3-3 now. We've seen STCU lose the round advantage before, and it kind of got out of hand for them, so they need to stabilize this round now. We'll see what they're going to be able to do for it.
Definitely, I mean, that Clove Volt was really what saved the round there for the Zygotes. I mean, if you didn't have that, you just lose the round there. But luckily they did, but I mean, you don't have it this round. They need to play smarter. They need to make sure that these big hitters like Rumioka and Sind aren't able to just run up on them and get kills for free.
Yeah. Working their way slowly into, be short. Not a lot of movement from either team. I think Zygotes are hoping that STCU keeps up with their aggression, but STCU is very intelligently just slowing the side push down, finally forcing Zygotes to work their way up, but there's nobody walking showers at all. They need to be careful of this deadlock here because she can completely shut down any kind of spray that we get. Void gonna be able to be the one to be shutting things down. Cloud finally showing their face, getting that pick. Moose is going to be able to get a little bit of an equalization, taking out Rumi, and the teleport's going to come out, but UG is there with the op, ready to shut down that push. The spike is down, and it's all up to Yoru. If anybody can win this round, it is going to be a duelist, but I'm just not sure he has enough gas in the tank. He's going to try to crouch his way through, goes for the swing, and he's going to fall. And UG getting a little bit of a Yoru diff as STCU going back up in round advantage as they go into the second half of the first half of game 2 here. And keep in mind, these are two very aggressive teams on an attacker-sided map. So if STCU are able to go into their attacking half with a round advantage, it's going to be looking very, very good for them.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, it's what they're looking forward to. They want to maintain this lead, and I guess, get this momentum up. Just a huge shift from the first match. Seeing UG hold that, get stunned by the Skydog, and having to back up.
These classics walking down Hookah, and it was a good call by Zygotes to use as much utility as they did, able to clear out that operator, but they still need to work their way out the site. Peeking out the shoulder just a little bit, just enough to get the shot out, but unfortunately, Cooksies is going to get shot out of the air. Moose is there with the trade, going to be able to get a second one, a third one, as now UG stranded on this long side. Is he going to be able to find anybody? A good flash is going to come out, not going to be able to force any kind of round. Void able to bring the advantage back into STCU's favor, and Sin is there to take out the rest of the round. Zygotes falling again, STCU up 5-3.
Yeah, I mean, just everyone was focused on UG there, sitting long with a shorty, was waiting for someone to peek him, and I guess the enemy team was waiting for him to swing them, and that just bought enough time for SCCU's other teammates to just come in and clean up. 3 people were just sitting there guarding, all holding different things. No one was able to trade each other. No one was watching out for each other, and that was their downfall.
Yeah. Looks like we're going to finally get some more of that showers aggression that we saw. Rumi using that ultimate to try to take a little bit more space. Zygotes just backing up and letting them have it, but STCU once more, they're still hungry as they're pushing Moose all the way back to spawn with the Sheriff. It's not going to be enough to one-tap getting a headshot, but that doesn't matter because Moose is going to get that headshot and then get another shot while he's at it. Phantom going to be there to for the taking, and he's going to push forward, force Sin all the way back to spawn, but there's nobody there to follow up on his ultimate. Maybe a little bit of an over-aggressive use of that, but
I mean,
still.
I think definitely the play was secure that rifle for himself to help on this push here as he's coming up a little late long. Cloud trapped in this corner here. Doesn't get taken out by the rocket, gets taken out by Kaibok from the headshot, but he's going to get his own kill onto Sind here as they come into a 5v2 position. UG getting that first shot on the op, going to miss the second due to the flash, and he's pinned down by 2 members of the Zygotes here in Elbow, and just going to back up, try and push main with his teammate Void.
Unfortunately, Void is not going to be able to win this round. Joey's going to be able to take that pick, and it's all up to UG with the operator. I think he's just going to call to save it. Good call, as a 5v3 is going to be very, very difficult, especially with this little time remaining. And Zygotes are finally going to be able to win another round and bring this game back closer to an even match. This is definitely what they needed this round.
Yeah, definitely that one round deficit is, can be gone in an instant, especially with explosive plays that we've seen out of the Zygotes. I think, it was the first time ever that Showers push actually paid off for them, netting them a kill rather than, 2 deaths, is great, but Moose was kind of playing in a bit of a ratty spot, and it's definitely something that's going to be looked out for again if SCCU decides to push that far, which was just, again, a bit unusual for them that round.
Absolutely. So we'll see what the Zygotes are going to be able to pull out here. They're going for another B long take. We'll see if they're going to be able to get Ugg off this angle with his op yet again, but he's pushing out much further than he did last time, and we'll see if anybody's going to get overly aggressive, but the dog is going to force out the op shot, and Ugg might just be forced to take the teleporter, but he's going to swing and he's going to get a kill for it before he takes the teleporter and goes back to spawn. Zygotes, no idea quite where he is, but they know where their raise is, and we're not going to be seeing them much more for this round.
Moose is here, Showers, one of their, duelists that has been incredibly helpful on pushing the site. He's lurking up on the opposite one, is walled off here, can't get any more space. He's going to grab that ult point and possibly back off. I don't know. The team is kind of scattered right now as that first kill for Ugg is going to leave STCU, the Zygotes, broken up here. They're opting for a fake play on A here, trying to force some rotates. They took the teleporter and are rotating through their own spawn to the B site again.
Call, but they have to be ready for this. Yoru is Joey is not. He's gonna fall. But the rest of the players on a fast rotate. Are the Zygotes gonna call another teleport? They are. Moose is trapped on site, and he might just be called out. A good flash coming out, but are these players from Showers going to be able to help out? They are. Somehow the Zygotes are able to equalize this round, but Cloud is there. The spike is going to come down, but it's still a 1v2. Somehow, this player is not going to fall to the spray. Sin will have to take a couple steps to the side, but the second spray is going to be able to take him out. And SCCU are going to be able to get 6 rounds on the board in this first half. Very, very good for them. And they've still got 2 more rounds to see if they can push it even further.
Definitely. I mean, they tried for some unique plays and go for some fakes, but what it all boiled down to was something so incredibly predictable, and also just not executed properly, because you're having people, you're faking in A push, so you think you would have more people there to go for a trade on the B site, but Ugg was just capable of sitting elbow in quite an exposed spot, and just getting a kill for free and just running out. And, the players on the Zygotes have, I think lost some of, that cohesion that I was talking about.
Yeah,
I'm seeing it go back and forth with the way that these people are playing off each other, these teammates. And, as I said before, it's just very messy. Not something that you would expect out of, these players who are, some of them are professional, some of them are not, but you think they'd be able to rally their team to, do something together.
Yeah. And, at the end of the day, this is, a casual tournament, so, we're not going to see the best plays in every single, secret play that the Terps have in the book, but yeah, I would like to see a little bit more cohesion, especially from the the experienced players on both teams. Should be making these calls, but we'll see what Zygotes are going to be able to pull in these last couple rounds of their attacking half. And Gridlock looking to maybe just shut down Showers again. Good call too, because a lot of aggression is coming out towards this A side.
Definitely. Kaibok here with the Chamber ultimate.
Void gonna be able to get 1 kill, but gets traded out by Cooksies. And now, as the smokes are going down, the question is whether or not Kaibok is going to be found. No, he's not. He's gonna be able to shoot Rumi in the back, and now SDCU in shambles, down 2 players to 4 in a post-plant position. It's gonna be very difficult. Sin jumping forward, but his guess was wrong, as he's gonna fall, and Kaibok getting the operator diff going into this final round. Zygotes looking to bring it back and go into their attacking half with an even score.
Definitely, and I mean, UG wanted to take that op duel there, but unfortunately, you can't do that against an ulting chamber. I
Yeah.
think his kit is just specifically designed around that ultimate. You have so much, and it's just like, it's a better op. It's just a better weapon.
Yeah.
Money can't buy everything. You have to pick in the agent select. And as we get into this last round of half, the Zygotes are capable of possibly holding this momentum as they get into another A push here in short. Void is going to have to back off of Lamps and hold out here U-Haul as Joey Doggo gets the first kill on Cloud. That's going to be all the Sentinel util going out for them, which means the site is open for the taking so long as they clear their corners and, flush out the enemy team with util.
I love this aggression from the Zygotes, but Void getting a little bit too big for his britches. I take it back. He's going to be able to find one kill, and both Cloves just deciding that neither of them want death as they're going to respawn, but they both need to find a kill. Joey's going to be able to do that. Is Void going to be able to do the same? No, he's not. Moose shuts that down, and it's all up to UG. Gonna miss the shot, unfortunately. Grabs the Vandal, but it's not going to be enough as all players on the Zygotes lined up, each hoping for that kill. Moose is going to be able to find it, and Zygotes going to be able to even out that score going into the second half of this round.
Yeah, you hate to see that. I was just looking there. I grimaced a little bit when I saw UG miss that shot.
Yeah.
His tracking, not, able to keep track of that moving chamber. But, it was really just a pipe dream for that retake. I think 6-6 half is anyone's game at this point. These teams are definitely built for attacking. So it'll be interesting to see how the Zygotes can, mount their defenses against this team.
Yeah. Man, I wish that there was some way where if you're behind an enemy player and they don't see you, they're not allowed to move. I don't think it's fair that they can move out of your line of sight, but STCU now going into this attack, and they're really happy that they can move because they're going to have to push their way onto a site, and Joey going to get completely flashed, but unfortunately missing the shots is UG, as Joey's going to be able to take him out with just a classic, and STCU is opting to cut their losses and just end up going towards B as well. They're able to make their way onto site. Rumi getting that shot down just in time, but are they going to be ready for Kaibok here? Long. We see a pistol walking out into the smoke. Unfortunately, Kaibok goes to reload. That was the wrong call. He needed to keep his gun out, but Zygote's still ahead 3-2 as they have to retake the spike.
2 players in hookah right now looking to drop out. There's one elbow, one garden. As the one garden goes down and Rumioka gets the trade, but Joey Doggo is there to take them out, and that's going to be another pistol round for the Zygotes. They've won both pistol rounds and gotten that bonus round for them. But, as we've seen before, that, for basically until the end of the half, that's about as much as they got, as they just kind of, took
Oh, no.
someone very excited by the scoreline here. I think
I'm not going to say it.
I'm not going to say it either because, it's
We're
burn
above
method.
this,
It's burn
right?
method.
Yeah.
6-7 is burn method. For anyone in the audience tonight, you have to know that we've moved past that.
Yeah.
And that the tastemakers, the 10-year-olds in elementary school who get excited over this, they've moved on.
See now what STCU is going to be able to pull, and it seems like it might just be a death impression as all 3 of those players are going to fall. They're finally going to be able to find Cooksies, but Joey is there to get that refrag, and he's going to be able to get the second one as well. How long was that round? 10 seconds?
I wasn't even keeping track. It was just so fast.
Yeah.
I mean, I would say about maybe, closer to 15 or something. But, when you just funnel into such a small area and you have these powerful weapons like Outlaws on save rounds, you're just going to get taken out one by one.
I mean, it's hard. It's a hard call to make because pistol rounds, sometimes the best call is just to throw 5 players down the lane and hope that nobody's there. But if somebody is, that means you're going into a meat grinder just a little bit. So we'll see now how STCU is going to play this now that they have weapons.
Definitely. I mean, I think they were just looking to get those first 2 rounds over with so they could start winning some. As they get into this long push, Kaibok forced to TP out, unable to get a first kill here as UG aggresses onto the site.
There's
Util
somebody
going
hookah. I'm
out.
not sure if anybody's ready for it. Void is, though, going to be able to take out JMC. And full site control is going to be established for STCU as they get the spike down without losing a single player. This is looking really, really strong for them. Keep in mind, they still have better weapons as well.
Definitely. And as so many people are swarming onto this site, there's only one person looking to flank here. And that's Cooksies as he comes into, gets taken out instantly in hookah. And it's just looking like a dire retake situation as people get picked off one by one. Moose with an outlaw, here elbow, Ugg. Another headshot for him, getting another kill, and Rumioka is going to finish off Kaibak here. Just making for a flawless buy round here.
Yeah.
And an unfortunate save round for the Zygotes. But as they get into, you know, their own buy round of themselves, they're looking to, I guess, assert their dominance on defense and say, you know, like, hey, you only beat us because we had worse weapons. And so now we're going to beat you. But if the first half is anything to go off of, it might be more of a difficult situation for them.
Yeah, and I really want to I want to point out Kaibak here buying that operator. I think, you know, as is the case for such a pivotal weapon, it's kind of been the question mark of every single round that we've seen it in, and we'll see if it's going to be able to do anything, but not on the initial start of this round. JMC is going to flip the script though, but unfortunately Void is going to be able to take out that operator with a good off angle, and as the flash gets shot out, unfortunately Sin is not going to be able to do anything about it, but Void is going to be able to get the retake, and now STCU yet again able to establish site control, start getting down the spike as well, but this time not looking quite as good as last time with a 3v3 instead of a 5v2.
Definitely Void able to get that third kill, and Cooksies just barely getting off that rocket. Moose in a 1v1 situation, 33 HP. He doesn't know where he is. He flashes out, but Rumioka is going to swing him first before he has his gun back out, and that's going to be the round for them.
Yeah.
I mean, it was a great attempt by the Zygotes here to equalize that retake, but I just really think the position that STCU had put themselves in that moment was just way too advantageous for them. You had so many people on the site. You have to get pushed in by other people. And really it was just the fact that people could take ones in that encounter that, you know, made it an even fight at that point.
Yeah. I'm curious what SCCU is going to bring out this round. Looks like they're just going for the long flood again. It's been working out for them, but Kaibak is there to take out Ugg, and suddenly they're going to have a lot more space that they're going to need to fight back for, because hookah is not going to be STCU's whatsoever.
Definitely, but as we're seeing right now, the bomb is still in their spawn. Cloud is the only person here trying to get some lurk kills on the A site here. He has sight for free and catches Joey Doggo out. Unfortunate for him. And Cooksies unable to do the same for the defense, putting them in a 4v2 situation. And I think, you know, the correct call has been made to just go A here. You have the site for free. Kaibak is going to pick up that Guardian, hopefully get some headshots with it. But as they're just waiting for this bomb to go down, it's a bad situation to be in.
Yeah, absolutely. And unfortunately, Kaibak's just going to be put down. That's a 4v1 in the favor of STCU, looking to take this round back into their advantage, going up 9-8 if they're going to be able to do it. But GMC, you know, don't count him out yet, even if he does see himself in a jam. And unfortunately for Cloud, he's going to be able to get one. Void is there to get the refrag, though, and going to make GMC's attempts null and void. STCU up 9-8, and this is the best that they've looked in any round so far. We'll see if they're going to be able to keep this momentum going all the way to the end of this game.
Yeah, Void has definitely done a great job at finding early picks for his team, you know, especially on sites that, you know, you kind of have some lurk plays going on there. I think what the Zygotes need to do at this point is just play retake. You know, you have a bunch of people dying early on, holding off on site, and not getting a lot out of it.
Seeing a little bit more of a shower fight. I think we've seen some variation of this every single round. And Kaibak opting for this angle again. The flash is going to come out, fully blind him, and he's just going to teleport out. This time he's not going to get called out by anybody in hookah. But they still have 4 people running down. A lot of util coming out, including a Raze ultimate. Not going to be able to find anybody, however. Are they going to be ready for Moose? They are going to be ready for him. Void going to be able to get that final blow. And now STCU up 5-4 in this retake situation.
Kabak is going to miss his shot on that boom bot there. And on the reswing is going to get taken out by Rumioka. Cooksey's finding no one there in elbow. And I mean, this is just what I was talking about before the match started. It's so difficult for them to attempt to hold sight there. And we're seeing that, that timeout come for the Zygotes from No Paso. And I think right now he's just telling them, you just have to play retake at this point. When you have one person hookah, you have one person elbow, you have one person CT. No one can trade anyone when they're smoked off, when they're walled, and you're just giving away free kills. You're not able to help your team, and you're putting them at a disadvantage for the retake.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm curious what Napasto is telling Zygotes here, but I have to imagine it's something to do with B-Long because SDCU just keeps running their way down it, and there's nothing that Zygotes have been able to do to stop them, and as soon as they get that control, they just walk their way onto site, and suddenly SDCU is down numbers, and they're down control, and they lose the post plan every single time. So I'm curious what they're going to be able to change on that B side of the map, but I have to imagine that that is where this change-up is going to occur.
Definitely. I mean, you have the majority of people on that site. You think you could probably hold off a bit better, and you can. I think we're seeing a 3A, 2B play for this round, and some aggression from short here as they have, poor weapons, poor economy, just looking to make something happen, and Joey Doggo is going to be that person getting the first kill onto UG and just backing off instantly. You don't want to overstay. You're welcome.
Yeah, good
Overplay
call.
your hand.
STCU knows that Zygotes need that weapon, but Joey is perfectly happy to just take these fights with his Sheriff. Maybe he shouldn't be, though, so he's going to fall, and a lot of aggression coming out here by Rumi. Joey's going to put him down. That's the second kill for that Sheriff. Is he going to be able to find a third? He is. A third headshot as well. Going to be able to find a fourth. Is he going to be able to get this ace? The spike comes down, and he's pushing forward. Unfortunately, Cookies is there, but I don't think that Zygotes are complaining about this. Neither is Joey. That's going to be a very important round to win. That should have been STCU's all the way, but just a hero moment for Joey, getting 4 kills for that round, completely shutting down STCU, and bringing Zygotes back into this match. Yeah, please show us the replay.
Watching this again, just the instant one tap as you get seen out of the smoke, and Cloud unprepared as he steps out again, just getting that second kill with the Sheriff, picking up the rifle and spraying down the person that was Lamps. I think great performance.
Yeah.
Really getting incredible amounts of mileage off of that Clove ultimate. You only got 1 in your first life and 3 in your second.
Moose hearing that aggression, opting to back up, not pushing forward, and I think that's a good call, as that could have been his end, but they're going to push forward even further, and Moose is forced to back up all the way towards B side. Joey having every single thing and this kitchen sink thrown at him, and it's going to be enough to take him out, as Zygotes having to do a 4v5 retake, but they have Cooksies on this angle. Can he cook? Gonna miss his first shot, going out with his grenade. I like this play, but unfortunately gets timing just a little bit. Not quite going to be able to find anybody. Sin is going to be able to knock him out, and Zygotes 3-4 now. How are they going to be able to play this?
JMC clearing that corner, getting the kill, and Kaibot getting 2 as Void is forced to use this Clove ult, gets taken out, 1v1 situation against Cloud. And he's going to tap the bomb, but he's too low of health to do something like that, and Cloud is just able to spray him down. No headshots, no nothing. When you're that low, you don't need anything flashy. It just,
You just got to get the kill.
Yeah, you're just praying you get the job done, and he did that. I think he was definitely feeling the pressure there. And it's a bit of a relief as we go into this 11-9 SCCU, just 2 rounds away from victory here. And I think they're more than capable of seizing it. I mean, we saw this aggression onto A that kind of didn't work out for them as well for the SCCU, and now they're switching it up, going back to basics, looking for that B play.
We'll see if it works out for them. As you see the dog coming out, and unfortunately, you're teleporting in, able to dodge the flash. That was huge, and it's going to be able to make the difference in JMC's life as Kaibok is forced to back up long, and Moose missing that shot. You can't miss that shot. Fortunately, Kaibok is there to equalize the round. Cooksey's in hookah, able to clear this out, and the Roomba is going to tell him that his back is clear. So suddenly STCU have not made their way onto site. They've made their way into a cage. Moose not going to miss another op shot like that. It's all up to Void here, stuck in this corner. One shot to death, and he's going to find it as Kaibok puts a bullet right between the eyes, closing out this round. And Zygote's refusing to let STCU get a distinct advantage.
Yeah, it's the first successful B defense that the Zygotes have been able to pull off. And, you know, it's that thing that we were talking about, just playing retake, waiting for your team to step up so that you have someone who can trade you or who can play off your util. Not dying almost instantly. I know they took that initial fight onto long there against UG, and I think it was just unfortunate circumstances that they gave up that first kill. But they really bounced back. They made sure that they didn't give up anything more. And as STCU looks to do a bit of a default here.
Yeah, I like this play by STCU, faking that long aggression that they've had all around. But if you look at STCU, as soon as they take this teleporter, they're going to have 5 people poised to take an ace split on this map. I think this dog is going to be the catalyst for it. But he might just be waiting for STCU to make a play onto site. And you can see Moose hoping, praying that somebody on STCU peeks this angle. They just might. But if somebody comes to that teleporter, suddenly he's not going to be in a very nice position at all. And I don't think STCU has any prospects of pushing that angle before he's ready. Teleport comes out from that Yoru at just the wrong time as all of STCU starts making their way towards B-side just at that moment. The Raze ultimate's going to come out, not going to clear out some space, but not going to be able to find anybody. And Joey is trapped on site. He's going to get shot in the back a little bit. He's not going to fall. Flash is going to come out, forces Moose to back up, but he realizes there's a deadlock there. Cooksey's, though, ready to help him out. And Joey going to be able to get a kill. It's all up to these last 2 players in STCU, but Kaibok is going to put Sin down, and it's just up to Clove. And Zygote's grouping up. Void tapping on the spike, but he's going to rotate.
Yeah, I mean, you know, it's a bit of a similar situation to what we saw last round. Just a bunch of people from SCCU funneling themselves into, like, a death trap. As the Zygotes are able to pick them off one by one, this bomb is going to go down. Kaibok already pushing site. Void's going to get the first one, but can't get the second. And Kaibok is going to, you know, shoot the body a little bit and, you know, show off. He's like, yeah, okay, I got the job done. And that's going to be 11-11 for both teams. Tie game.
Yeah, this is about as close as you can get it. From this point on, a team is going to have to win 2 rounds in a row. And a timeout is coming out from STCU, not a moment too soon, because this is their last chance to win in regulation. If they lose this round, or if they lose the next round, Zygotes are going to be able to bring it at least to overtime, maybe just take the map entirely. So STCU, if they've got anything left cooking, it's time to bring it out.
Definitely. I mean, I think Peaches is going to be talking to them about the shifts we've seen in the Zygotes and how SCCU playing with their aggression is no longer netting them as many kills as they once saw, and so they might have to play a little slow, play for, you know, a pick, for that man advantage, or just for even intel. I think SCCU has been going into a lot of these site pushes blind, not knowing how many people are there on the team of Zygotes, you know, or where other people are, if they're getting flanked, things like that. It just makes it incredibly difficult for them to, you know, push a site.
Yeah. So, hopefully that was something along the lines of what Peaches was saying, but we'll have to find out as SCCU is going to make their call for what they're going to push, and they're keeping Yoru towards A. They might keep him as a lurk. They might make that their main attack, but one thing is for certain, they're not doing that same long play that they've been doing. They might send Chamber down there, which is interesting because it's really been this util, the dog and such, that is able to get them so much space here, but maybe just keeping somebody on the case, not losing too much space that way as they push their way through hookah is how they're going to play this round.
Definitely, and we're seeing a 4-1 split here as UG is just holding down the A for that intel, and Cookies is going to push out of showers right into him. The timing is bad for him, but he doesn't see him. They're right next to each other.
Oh my god. Who's going to turn first? Who's going to turn first? Somebody please, somebody please. Oh my god. I don't even care what's happening over at B.
Oh my god!
UG is going going to not look, but he's just gonna sit there. And Cooksies has to be curious about what was going on there. Finally.
You have to be so mad. You're sitting next to each other this whole
Oh my
time and you don't do
God.
anything. You're just like, okay, I'm just going to sit here. You don't clear that. You don't expect anyone to be there. I mean, you're not secure, and this is just a 2v4 retake. It's just such a bad position to be in because you just didn't take the time to, like, that 0.5 seconds to look to your right a little bit more.
Yeah. Zygotes now gonna need a miracle to win this game if they can. Unfortunately, Moose is not gonna be able to make anything. JMC able to take out UG, but he still needs 3 more players to find. We've seen him get 4Ks before on rounds, but this might be a little bit too much to ask for as these players are pushing U-Haul and they're gonna be able to take him out. And SDUC finding themselves on map point.
I mean,
Wow. What
It's-
do you say about that?
I don't know. I think you just say, hey, you have to be more careful next time. You know, it's just like,
Yeah, that was truly
I'm astonished.
Miraculous.
You know,
I have
these
not
are
seen
these
anything
are
quite
people
like that
that
before.
play for professionally.
Yeah.
Cooksies, he is a Valorant player, unlike UG, who is an Overwatch player. You know, he has that experience. He knows what he should be doing.
Yeah.
And you're just like a very common little lurk spot.
Yeah.
And you just don't clear it. You don't expect that, and you know, you just can't do anything.
Yeah, just chamber up, 1 shot down, still has 4 to go. Not going to be able to find everybody on STCU, but still a huge thorn in their side if they don't clear him properly. As they make their way down long. It's the same play that they've been doing all game, but doing it a little bit later, so maybe Zygotes are not going to be quite as prepared for it. We'll have to see.
Definitely. I mean, it's the same 4-1 spread we saw last round, and Cooksies is looking to push Showers again. We're seeing the same fight, and he wins it this time because they're both looking at each other with that precision that he has, and is just going to back off instantly. And I think because STCU didn't get a pick B, they're opting for A. The Void's going to get taken out, forced into that Clove ult, and must push the Zygotes in order to stay alive for this post plant.
I love this call by Joey to just back up, force Void to push into him, and it's going to happen. Eventually, Void just falls. Fortunately, Kaibok not going to be able to get the pick with his operator through this smoke, and he's running out of bullets fast as this plant is going to go down. But finally, Zygotes find themselves in a man disadvantage for their effort. Are they going to be able to transfer it, though? Rumi finding the first kill on this. Joey getting a shot in the back of the head, finding a second one. How is he finding all of these angles? It's just up to this deadlock. Finally, the op is going to be dropped. I take it back as the shot is going to come out, but he's not going to be able to find anybody. Sticking it to half, and he goes out for the spray, goes for the tap again, and he's not quite able to find the shot. Somebody put this round to bed. It's
He's going to
getting
get
stuck
it
to
half. He swings again, but he misses again. It's just he's getting so low.
And unfortunately, Zygotes not able to find this round. You know they're kicking themselves about this. SDCU, yet again, a nail-biter. That is the second time we've gone to 11-11.
Yeah, I mean, it's just... you just have to hit, like, any shots there.
Yeah.
Cloud was just full health that whole time and was capable of just, you know, re-peeking, making sure that they're off bomb, and just stalling. And as the pressure builds, like, you lose kind of that kind of your mental stability, and you're forced into a rough position where you have to, like, okay, do I stick this or do I take this fight? And, you know, you lost. It's unfortunate to see, but I think definitely the Zygotes attempted to turn it around. I think their latter half of that defending side was a better performance than you know, the first half.
Absolutely.
But, you know, at the end, it's just not enough. They had great man advantage coming into that retake. And I think, you know, just people looking for their ones, looking for some heads, some stat pads as they feel like they're comfortable in, you know, taking it to OT there.
Yeah.
Just didn't happen, and we're going to have to go to map 3. But before that, I think we're going to cut to a quick commercial break.
Yeah, we'll see you just after this.
Hi, my name is Teddy Zielkowski. I am a 2022 graduate at the University of Maryland with a degree of Bachelor's of Landscape Architecture, and right now I am a Terps Rocket League coach. Yeah, I think one of the biggest factors of why they invited me to be the coach for the Rocket League team was that I played a lot, and I was actually like the Rocket League president of the club. I played for the collegiate team before Terps Esports was a program. So I was a huge person in this community for Rocket League, so they really wanted someone who was kind of like a cornerstone that built this community to come back and be the coach. The most important thing about my role would be just getting to know all the different players on the team. Everyone has different lifestyles, they have different play styles, so you really gotta just get to know every single person so that you can help kind of connect them all together so they can play well on and off the pitch. My favorite part would just be seeing their improvements throughout the entire season. I mean, you start out and everyone's a bit awkward, everyone's kind of shy as well, and I think by the end of the season, like now, we play together, everyone kind of jokes around a little bit more and kind of shines their natural ray, so it's really fun just seeing, and they're also just getting better at the game too, so we're excited just to see them play better as well. I like the program, I like the direction it's going. There's obviously so much more work to do and figuring everything out, but I really like the direction we're going, and I think just the more time that we're working to grow the program, the more we're going to learn how to just be better as a program. I think one of the things that I really want to keep improving upon for like Terps Esports is just building a bigger community for all the games. So the Rocket League community has a really big community over in the club side. So it was really nice to see more people just like bonding together. People are just, instead of just seeing as like practices as being like a forced mandatory thing, people are like reaching out to each other and like they really want to play proactively with each other, and they're becoming friends as well. So it's not even like a team and we're just teammates and that's it, but it's more like we're staying up till like 2, 3 a.m. playing because we're having fun playing, and that's also helping them get better as well. So it like increases their like chemistry together and like just playing together as well, and they can handle losses better when they're a team and they're friends. So that's like a really good part about just building this community. I think one of the biggest things is just creating like a welcoming space for like beginners, and just like having it just be really welcoming, all skill levels included. So that's something that we can try and do, and just create more diversity in the esports scene, just have more opportunities for other people to come, and maybe they're prodigies at a certain game or something. So when more people are playing the game and just creating more noise, then it's awesome for more people to just keep coming. It's almost like a trend. And I think by the end of the season, like now, we play together, everyone kind of jokes around a little bit more and kind of shines their natural ray. We're excited just to see them play better as well.
With the middle school program, the best part has been seeing the moments of teamwork where the middle schoolers really seem to get the game, and so that's when you can see they're starting to get a little bit hooked on how esports can be.
And I think by the end of the season, like now, we play together, everyone kind of jokes around a little bit more and kind of shines their natural ray. We're excited just to see them play better as well.
With the middle school program, the best part has been seeing the moments of teamwork where the middle schoolers really seem to get the game, and so that's when you can see they're starting to get a little bit hooked on how esports can be so fun.
Off game, or will Red turn things around?
Welcome back, everyone. Excited to get into the conclusion of our Terps, Valorant Internals Finals. Just really looking forward to that. I think we've seen some incredible ups and downs, some crazy upsets, some crazy plays, some crazy mistakes. But you know,
You couldn't ask for a more exciting game. That's why we're all here. We just want to put on a good show, and that's exactly what we're getting.
definitely. I mean, we're all feeling the emotions tonight. Everyone's excited. Everyone's amped. I know I don't even know what I'm going to expect in this map 3.
Yeah. I mean, one thing that I'm definitely keeping an eye on this round is these operators. They've been so prevalent in basically every single round as soon as they're available. I'd say round 4 onwards of every half, the operator is the deciding factor in that round.
I mean, definitely, I'd agree. I mean, a lot of these players are just struggling to, get around that or try and isolate this operator. It's difficult, I guess. I think they have the utility to do it, and especially the strategy. I mean, they've had good takes regardless, but I think these ops have just become incredibly overpowered. It's like you're in an iron lobby, no one knows how to use their util, and someone buys an op and just becomes unkillable.
Taking advantage of the less structured play that we're seeing from these teams. And you know what? Game is game, but I love the pick from the Teo here. I think I would have to imagine that is picked pretty specifically to counter this op-heavy gameplay, because just so many abilities that are perfectly equipped to deal with that operator. So hopefully we see less of a prevalence of it, but we'll have to find out as we go into this next round. And I see we're going on to, what's the name of this map?
Abyss.
Yeah,
I think, Tejo, about the time when my Valorant journey slowly came to an end, I think Tejo was incredibly prevalent in the meta. Since then, he's been kind of nerfed a bit. His post plant isn't as powerful as it was before, thankfully, because it was a pain to deal with. He's an initiator. He's supposed to initiate. He's not really supposed to hold things. He's supposed to let you take things. And as you were saying, definitely beneficial for dealing with those ops. On the other side, I think you just really have the Sova to tell you where they are. And in this first match, we're seeing JamC get the first pick onto UG here.
Yeah, I like this defense by JamC, able to find 2 players on it. Somehow Kaibok is able to escape with his life after all of this. The Waylay going in, being a little bit of a distraction, but it's not going to find anybody. And as the smoke comes down, suddenly Sova and Astra here kind of a little bit stuck, not really sure which angle to watch, as they're trapped in this last corner and not really a way to get out except for their weapons. We'll see if it's good enough.
Kaibok is going to get that kill on Sin. And Void getting 3 for him in this first round here. I think, all kills coming out of both JamC and Kaibok here. The people that were there holding the site initially, I think really just a great hold, on the last few maps we've seen, them kind of falter when it comes to holding these sites and opting to play for retake. But, it's just pistol round. It's not, an example of the rest of the match, but they're already off to a great start.
Something I want to point out, by the way, we see 2 Outlaws and Marshall on this half. Really shows how prevalent snipers are going to be on this round. We already see 3 of them in round 2. Is a good use of ability by Rumi. Unfortunately, JamC is going to be able to get that Yoru before they go down, but round going into a little bit of a hiatus as STCU starts rotating around towards B.
Yeah, and the only person here right now is Cooksey's missing the cross from Cloud as the rest of the team for SCCU creeps up. And the knife!
It's going to come out. Cloud getting that opening kill, allowing Zygotes to walk around the site. And I didn't realize you were able to make your way onto site without sound, as Zygotes now down 3 players to 1. And their buy round is looking to be maybe in a little bit of shambles. Joey, though, able to equalize the round, and that's exactly what Zygotes needed.
Void getting the kill with a classic Moose onto the Tejo, And as these last two players come onto the site, Joey's going to miss. Finds
Oh
Cloud
my
and
God,
Void.
two beautiful shots. Perfect.
Incredible flick. Just great spray control. Great spatial awareness. Great retake.
Yeah.
You know, it was a bit rough. You know, that's your buy round. That's your round you're supposed to win. But
please give us this replay. I'm so excited. Unfortunately, misses these shots, but you know, gives him just the scary needs. Gets one shot, perfect spray onto the second, and yeah, Joey's got to feel very good about that. And that's exactly what the Zygotes needed, because yeah, this round was looking a little bit dire for them, but able to turn it around. Unfortunately, now because of how many players they lost, this round is looking dire for the Zygotes.
Cooksies gets spotted early by the Sova drone. Is going to have to back up. But do they know that Moose is here as well with the Outlaw?
Fortunately,
Yes,
gets
they do.
stunned and not going to be able to back up the safety. Cloud going to be able to get the waylay as well, and the spikes to come down. At this point, if you're a part of the Zygotes, you're just hoping to get whatever kinds of picks, you know, leaving or otherwise that you can, because it's going to be very, very difficult to win this round because of the weapons advantage, the player advantage, and the spike advantage that Team C has.
Definitely. I mean, Kaibak is going to throw out some shock darts to get people low to finish them off with that stinger. But Joey Doggo is going to be the one to do that. 5 HP in a dream. Kaibak, you know, 1v3 situation.
He's able to get even one more pick. This is going to be very, very happy for Kaibak, but he might just end up taking this outlaw and being happy. Unfortunately, Void is going to put him down, and you know, this is to be expected. Team Ultimates were on their bye round, while Team Zygotes were on their save, but you know, Zygotes are up 2-1. Couldn't really ask for a better half, as Team Ultimate's a little bit lower on cash than they might have hoped.
Yeah, bit strapped for it, one might say. But, you know, they're really putting all into this round. I got that pun. I noticed that. I'm acknowledging you. I want you to know that that was awesome.
I thank you.
But, you know, they're putting everything into this round. They want really want to, you know, shut off any momentum that Team C could possibly want.
Cooksies, knowing that the player is coming around because of the information, and just dashes back, but already Team Zygotes looking very dominant in this round. Is it's just down to Sind here to be able to put anything on the board, and unfortunately he's going to go down. Zygotes up 3-1 now. Huge round, going to swing the momentum confidently in Team Ultimate's favor.
Definitely. I mean,
Team Zygotes'
it was such a big difference from the round that just happened previously, where it was kind of a similar B push, you know, kind of, you know, similar composition of people there to defend. And it was really just a matter of positioning, you know, not dashing in first and then recalling for those plays, but rather just holding more of an aggressive spot with that recall, rather than just, you know, making yourself known to everyone.
Yeah.
I think really great use of the advantage of they have to swing into you.
Look at this aggression coming out from Team Zygotes as they're walking their way, but they need to be careful of Cloud. Gonna miss the timing. Does he know about the second player, though? He doesn't, but he does now. It's Cloud forced to back all the way up, and he's just gonna teleport out. Gonna get sprayed a little bit, but they're still gonna push forwards, and they're gonna be able to get him all the way back to spawn. Void is there to get the trade, but Moose is still plenty healthy with that Vandal, and completely shutting down any kind of aggression towards B is going to force Team Ultimate to work their way onto A instead, but there are still two players there. Looks like every part of the site is completely off limits, but there's not really anybody to take advantage of that as Ugg makes his way into heaven, but JamC finding himself a little angle as he walks forward, gonna be able to find one, not quite! The ultimate does come out from Sova, putting a little bit of a plug to this leak, but Joey is there, and somehow this round is still in the advantage of Team Zygotes, even as the ultimate comes down from Astra.
Astra gets found out, but Sind is still hidden. Not anymore as he gets that kill into Moose. It's a 2v2 situation. He still has that recon dart for main. And Kaibak unable to get any kills. Just shut out from this A site.
Yeah, you know he's kicking himself about that shock dart because that could have absolutely been the end for Void. 50 HP. Shock dart does more than that if you get just the right shot, but unfortunately hit the wall. So we'll never know what could have happened. As 3-2, Team Ultimate's absolutely still in this game, pushing for the win.
Definitely. I mean, I really think we kind of need to see a bit more of that post-plant ability and also, you know, just the ability to take site. We've seen them struggle a lot, especially on that B site there, but, you know, really successful. Hope to see if they can replicate it. But as they get into this mid push, a lot of people are isolated here. The only person there is not going to be able to get the kill.
Going to be swinged on by that classic, but it's just enough when you don't know where anybody is. Unfortunately, that weapon is not going to be able to find its way into the hands of somebody on Team Zygotes. As Cooksies is going to fall as well. And now Team Ultimate just backing up. They know they have the weapons advantage, and they can't give that up, so they're opting to go back towards A and just do what it's worked in the past now that they have a weapon advantage.
I mean, it's just all of them here. And the Veto ult is coming out in order to just ignore any of this Vice utility that comes out.
Yeah, really smart, putting him in the driver's seat for this team. Not going to get blinded there. We'll see what he's going to be able to do. He's going to be able to die, that's for sure, as Cloud going to be able to just keep pushing his way forward. And Veto setting up this post plant looks very, very strong for Team Ultimate here. We'll see what Team Zygo is going to be able to do.
Yeah, and just looks like they're gearing up for a retake as this Reyna line comes out. Vito's going to teleport, but Moose is right there. Gets the overheal. Is on site, taps for the Asher util to go down. And they have the read that the remaining players are.
But he's not going to shoot him. Sticking the plant, but it doesn't matter because the Teo ultimate is going to come out, force him off of the spike, and now it's just up to Kaibok. He did get it halved, but he's not going to be able to stick. It gets sprayed down through the smoke, and looks like Team Ultimate is going to be able to equalize this round. Was that jump a little bit too early? Not quite, as everybody's going to be able to stay alive post-round, and 3-3 now, but we're seeing just scraps of a bye coming out from Team Zygotes, so we'll see whether or not they're going to be able to take this round.
Definitely, and I mean, they were saving that round, only had pistols, but now it just looks like they still don't have enough. You know, they're just doing all they can to, you know, force a round win for them, stop this momentum, and keep their lead. As Moose walks down here and gets the headshot onto a Void and picks up the rifle. One of the players that wasn't able to full buy that round. Now with a rifle as UG takes this shot on mid.
Ultimate's forced to speed up their mid push, but Zygotes seem perfectly happy to just allow Ultimates in. Is Cloud going to be ready for this? I think so, but no, not quite. But Kaibok is trapped in this corner. Doesn't matter though, because he's able to shoot his way out, still has a weapon, and he's going to be able to get the info that he's free. Sin going to be able to get the first kill for his team in this round, but he still has 4 more to go, and I'm not sure he's going to have it. Moose there in the back for the second time this round, and that's going to be a perfect round for Team Zygotes. It's about as good as you can ask for, as they're going to be able to take the advantage back for them, not letting Team Ultimates, you know, show them who's boss.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, I think what we just saw in that round was just a matter of discipline. You know, Cloud just only shallow clearing that corner. And, you know, they're just tucked all the way inside of it. And it's just like, you have to clear the whole thing, man.
Yep.
But, you know, I think the more that happens, the more frequently they're going to remember to clear those. I think the opportunities for the Zygotes to do something like that is rapidly waning.
But, you know, they don't need that many opportunities. This is the last map of our match. Whoever wins this wins it all, so it's not really going to matter. Rumiko going to be able to find one, but unfortunately Moose is there going to be able to shoot UG in the back. I think he might have been shooting for Rumi, but it doesn't quite matter as UG is the one that falls. Rumi is still low on HP, though. I like this lurk from Void. Is he going to push his way onto site just as the enemy Vice is leaving site entirely open? if he goes forward, he gets the call that Vice is nowhere to be seen because we see how Vice's gadgets are showing. He's no point in pushing forward, though. When we get the blind, that tells Vice there are players in a main, as Zygotes are forced to decide whether or not they want to push forward for this.
See the wall go out. Rumioka, isolated from the rest of his team right now, is having to sit in those thorns. They go down. Everyone floods on site. Sind trying to plant the bomb here. Gets it. But Moose is going to swing out and flick onto Rumioka. It's a 4v2 with both in the A main. Sind is going to get 2. 1v1 situation between Cloud and Joey.
There, and he's not going to push forward. He's just going to stick the bomb. Perfect call. And Joey's going to be able to take it. Is he going to be able to get the kill as well? He does. But that didn't matter. The round was already over. And Zygote's up now, 5-3. Are they going to be able to keep this momentum going? This is what they've been looking for. But Peaches with the perfect timeout call, stopping this momentum in its tracks. They need a win now. If STCU loses this, they could be in a world of hurt.
Definitely. I mean, I think that timeout is going to be necessary because, you know, the only reason that 1v1 situation came down was just because of sheer luck. Yeah. You know, you're seeing people get sprayed down through the smoke there. Didn't really have any good beat on where they were. You're just, you know, shooting blindly and getting lucky, but you don't really want luck to be the deciding factor in your rounds. You want it to be skill and, you know, strategy and things like that. And also just, I think a lot of these plays have been successful for the Zygotes based off of, you know, complacency, like not clearing things, not checking things. Cloud assumed that it was a fake tap, but you know what they say, pros don't fake, and they won the round. It's just a lot of conversations that need to happen, a lot of rooms of improvement, and, you know, hopefully we see some of that.
Absolutely. So, see what STCU is going to bring into this next round. They are a little bit low on a buy, but still very, very deadly weapons. If the least deadly weapon on your team is a Bucky, you know, the enemy team better still be wary. We'll see how Zygotes are going to end up playing this, but we see that STCU is going for maybe a mid-heavy push, maybe something a little bit towards A as well, as Yoru is going to clear out A all by himself with that ultimate.
Definitely finding where utility is, coordinating that Sova ult to attempt to take out this Vice, but that's not going to happen.
And Gloomy going to be able to take Joey out, and now we see all 4 players of STCU working their way onto site. Gloomy is going to be able to get that spike down, but STCU has to be careful, completely surrounded by Team Zygotes. We'll see what they're going to be able to do on this retake.
Sova drone taken out by that Veto utility. No information. The Waylay ult coming out, not getting anything as Rumioka was still safe from it.
Fortunately now it's just up to Kaibok and Moose. Both of them are going to fall simultaneously. And Cloud almost going down to that ability. Would have been the swing of an entire weapon. And, you know, this is what I was saying. If, you know, that Bucky's still plenty deadly, as STCU is going to be able to take that round, and now it's Team Zygotes who are the ones without a full buy that they want. But I mean, we're still seeing Sheriffs, we're still seeing Buckies. All of these have one-shot potential, so STCU cannot rest on their laurels unless they want the exact same thing that they just did to Zygotes to be done to them.
Yeah, definitely. We're seeing a Hero Vandal come out for Moose here, maybe possibly making an aggressive play here on the B site, but we're seeing kind of a mid-A spread as Cooksies gets taken out by Rumioka early into the round.
Curious whether Gemsy is going to call for this ultimate to be used. Sind going to be able to get Joey down, and at this point it might just be worth it to call for a save and use whatever abilities and ultimates do we have for this round, next round. Gemsy going to be called out by that drone, unfortunately. Ugg going to be able to get that kill, and he's going to be able to follow it up with a kill onto Kaibok, and now it's just up to Moose. He does have a Vandal, and he has the Reyna ultimate. If there is somebody to win a 1v5 retake, probably it is this exact situation, but I wouldn't hold my breath because it's still one fight after another 5 times that Moose needs to win.
Definitely, I think really he just wants to save here. He bought this Hero Vandal because he wanted to do something with it, and now that he can't, if he dies here, he's going to be broke while his team is capable of full buying. Walking into his crosshairs, getting a bit scared and missing. But now that they know where he is, they're capable of just running him down. Util's going to miss for Rumioka, allowing for 1 kill. Another on Cloud.
Is he going to get knifed? He is. That's just so unfortunate. As UG is going to be able to take it and equalize the round with that knife as well. As Zygotes and STCU 5-5 apiece.
Yeah, what probably should have been the easiest kill for him there, as just someone running at him with a knife. Gonna get a bit scared and is gonna lose that Vandal. As I said, he's just there with the Sheriff, but you know, he's just as deadly with it. We've seen him push down B, get kills, take that rifle, and you know, it's like he just had that buy to begin with. But
yeah, we'll
it might be a bit difficult as 3 members of STCU are here.
Cloud with that Vandal, hoping to find somebody, but nobody is peeking out for him. So Moose walking his way all the way down mid. Gonna be able to manage this timing, but he's gonna get called out by the Solo drone. But not quite going to be able to get any of these shots. Moose forced all the way back out, but somehow he's safe. And with the abilities coming out, he's going to get called out. And Joey, who's there to assist, is going to get shot as well, unfortunately. Just barely not able to save that round, because he could have brought that into somehow keeping his life alive. But now all 5 members of STCU working their way towards B. They get the information. The ultimate is going to come out from that Vice, but we'll see whether or not he's going to be able to take advantage of it. Going to be able to find one. How many more? A beautiful flash coming out. Not quite going to be able to get the second one because Cloud somehow got behind him with the pistol, but still, round is more equalized than it ever was. 5-3. Kaibok looking to see what he can do. Unfortunately, misses his shot, his recon arrow. Is he going to miss the shock dart? Not quite. Whaley coming out. Going to be able to find one, but Void is there in hell to help defend him, and unfortunately, we're not there to shoot him again. And STCU able to put themselves in the round advantage 6-5.
Just such low HP on Void there. You know, a breath could have done him in, but unfortunately, the Zygotes were unable to find a favorable position to take him out, and that was their downfall, taking out the last 2 remaining members of Zygotes. You know, makes it an unfortunate circumstance to be in, especially because, you know, it looked to be a possible win for that round for the Zygotes. Especially on all that shenanigans that happened in mid. But as we get into this last round, the Zygotes are a bit broke and have to play a bit slower this round.
We see just a huge ult dump out of the side of STCU. We'll see what they're going to be able to get out of it, but Kaibok is going to be able to get the first kill in this. JamC not quite going to be able to get the second kill. He's stuck in this corner. As soon as the second shock dart comes out, it's not quite going to be able to find him. He's on 1 HP. Not going to be able to find anybody as he goes down, but plenty of damage done and plenty of time stalled. The rest of Zygotes are able to make their way back on the site, but Rumi is able to get a second kill. Moose going for the spray, going to be able to find one, not able to find a second one, but he's able to use his ultimate to get himself out of dodge, and now it's down to these last 2 players as he walks his way around to Link. And we'll see how STCU is going to be able to take this round. Rumiko finds out where this person is, but he still has his ultimate in hand.
Suppressed for 1 more second. He can now move in to get a kill and go invisible. Those Tejo missiles are going to stall only a little bit of time as Moose hops up onto boxes here. Doesn't see anyone because they're holding a trade. 1v1 situation.
Unfortunately, Rumi there to take the swing. Going to be able to get 3 for the round and completely change the course of that round as the STCU team able to put themselves up 7-5 in the first half.
Yeah, I mean, winning that half means everything in this map 3.
Yeah.
I think SDCU has been capable of, you know, just having great, I guess, organization is what I'm going to say here, as, you know, a lot of players on Team Zygotes have, you know, had to take it upon themselves to make explosive plays that'll win them the round or make it a bit even for them. You know, Kaibok and Moose have worked nothing short of miracles to get these 5 rounds.
Yeah, we'll see what Zygotes are able to do on their first attacking round. They're going to be very aggressive. 5-man flood down B as they push their way all the way onto this poor Astra stuck on site. And unfortunately, Sind is just not quite going to be able to do anything to help him. Ugg going to be felled by Joey as this plant comes down up 3 to 5. 2 to 5 now as Cooksy's able to find Ugg, and they find the last 2 players. Cooksy's going for the second retake, but Cloud's going to put him down, and it's a 4v2, but it's looking very, very dicey for STCU.
Cloud taking a bit of damage here. Does he know that Kabak is in the corner here? They're going to clear him out, and he's going to get that kill, but Moose not really getting a trade, but there we go. 3 for Moose, 2 at the end there. I think great execution onto that site, good hold. You know, great pistol round.
Yeah.
But I think, you know, in these last 2 maps, the Zygotes have put on great pistol rounds. And, you know, not a great anything else. So with this save round coming out from SCCU, we should see a 7-7 scoreline. But after that, I think the Zygotes are going to have to change something.
Yeah, I mean, I wouldn't hold my breath as far as that's concerned, just because we've seen a lot of these save rounds go to the side of the saving team. A good recon arrow going to be able to shut down this aggression, and Ugg getting shot through the box is going to put him down to half HP, and all the STCU have to show for their aggression is 4 people stacked on the site. If they call for an A push, which they very well might, it's going to be all but over for STCU, as Joey's going to be able to get 1 kill. Is he going to be able to get the second one? He is. However, not quite in time, as Rumi is going to be able to find Moose. And it's all up to Sind alone on site as we get an Omen smoke down on B. I think I'm going to be able to find him. He's sitting with the shorty. He looks away at just the wrong time, and Jam is going to be able to put him down. It's all up to this Vito. I don't know what kind of weapon he has, but I'm going to assume it's not enough, as he's questioning whether or not to just jump off now, and that's exactly what he's going to do.
There he goes. And that's the round for the Zygotes. Great round, I guess.
Yeah.
You know, you're supposed to win, but you know, death was minimized. People still have their weapons. They're capable of, you know, maybe putting on, you know, a good bonus.
Yeah, I like this call from Cloud to jump off, just because, you know, you don't make as much money if you survive the round. So what he wants is to die, but what he doesn't want is to give Zygotes an ultimate point for killing him. So he's happy to just you know, take off the round, not give any money or any ultimate points to Zygotes' team, and hope that their better buy is going to be able to give them this round. But unfortunately for them, Zygotes still have a pretty good buy this round themselves.
Definitely a Cooksy's off to an early site take, but he's going to get taken out by Rumioka. Kaibok getting an outlaw shot onto him.
Still need to be aware of Sin, though. Not going to be able to do anything about this plant as it goes down. It is an advantage for the team Zygotes. They're not playing any games with this Yoru. We saw what happened in game 1 when they did that. Sin going to be able to find one. And with this flash, Ugg going to be able to put himself on this angle. Gets 1 shot, but gets shot back himself. Kaibok going to be able to keep this round close, as it's up to the last 2 members of Zygotes to bring this 3v2 back. We see the spike getting tapped. Sind is there, and he's going to be able to find both of them. 4 kills for him. That's exactly what STCU needs, and they're going to give him the spike so that he's 1 ult point away from having his Sova Dart as well. And STCU looking really, really strong, but keep in mind that was Zygote's save round. So this is going to be the first full rifle round of the half. If STCU is able to buy, but they really might not, because Zygotes did a lot of damage to STCU's economy.
Definitely. I mean, 3 people going down there. You only have 2 survivors. We're seeing Ugg force out an op here with Light Shield. You know, I think he just says, you know what, I'm just trying to get some kills.
Yep.
I might as well bring it out. It has been a menace, both matches.
But I don't think we saw it in the first half of this. Notably, as soon as we saw that Teo, not a lot of operators on the team of Team Zygotes.
Definitely. And
Unfortunately, Rumi missing that recon dart. He's going to be shot down by Cooksies through that smoke, and suddenly there's looking like the complete reverse of last round, as Zygotes are going to be able to get site control down with a person advantage this game.
With his bomb down. No ults on either side. If Sind is capable of getting 1 more kill, he will have Sova ult.
Shotgun comes out, not going to find anybody. as SDCU needs to get something, but it looks like this hold by Team Zygotes is just so strong. Gonna be able to find 2 is Kaibok, helping out Cooksies a little bit because I thought he was gonna go down, but now SDCU just on the retreat, trying to keep this operator in hand. Sin there to guarantee that it happens, and as they back up, Zygotes are not going to be able to get the op out of the hand of that Yoru, but they don't need to because they're able to get the round win.
Definitely. I mean, that op not having too much of an impact on the round, not really finding any connections. Sin, the only person that, got kills in that round.
Yep.
And those are on the people pushing him because they've already won it.
So we'll have to see now what Team STCU is going to be able to bring out in this round because they don't have a full buy again. It's so weird seeing them bring out both an operator and not a full, not a full team of rifles or even full shields. So we'll see what they're able to do now with this Guardian in hand. But Zygotes looking to just keep it going as they're going to push through B for a 3rd time in a row? 4th time?
It's been a lot, and Cooksies is going to spot out Cloud early in the round. And as 5 people come in, Sin is going to Sova ult that lane.
You know what? It's a good call by the Zygotes. They're going to be able to get site control down, get the spike down without losing any kind of damage. They're able to even do a little bit on that Team Ultimate Sova, and it's going to be the difference maker is that Shock Dart's going to put him down, and now there's no information for Team STCU. They just need to go in there, maybe throw a couple flashes and then win their fights. And I'm not sure if they have it in them necessarily. This operator is not going to be super useful, but you know what Rumi's abilities are is they're going to be able to find 2. And now STCU in a 3v3, they're going to keep pushing forward, but Kaibok is there to get 1 kill. He gets traded out though. Is he ready for this player on the spike? But they're not ready for the person Heaven. This plant is coming out, but Void is going to be able to take the gunfight, but not quite, as Moose is going to be able to take him out. And Zygote's taking the lead as this match is starting to come to a close.
Definitely. I mean, I think Moose has been really a huge issue for SCCU as he's just, he's in places you don't expect him. He's Heaven. He's getting headshots on just, crazy timings. It's, been, I keep saying, I said it before, but it's been nothing short of miracles.
Yeah. See now what Team STCU is going to be able to do because they're dealing with the same exact push again. We've seen this shotgun in this corner be used before, and it's going to work this time as Cloud is going to be able to get a kill. And he's not quite going to teleport out. He gets vulnerable. Nobody's looking at him. He's going to be able to find 3. Is he going to be able to find a 4th? Is he going to find an ace? No, not quite, as Joey is there with a 3K of his own to equalize the round. And now we get a breath of air as STCU getting ready for this post plant.
Yeah, just a 2v2 here. I mean, could have been better if Cloud hadn't just decimated everyone with his Bucky. But Ugg is here. He has a Sheriff. And I think he's struggling to find an in here main as Void creeps up from Heaven.
Omen using his ultimate, just trying to get some information. It's going to get shot out. And a beautiful shot by Ugg. That Sheriff seems to be just plenty. And he's going to be able to find 2 as STCU is going to be able to equalize this round in what should have been Zygotes' favor. But yeah, they weren't ready for that Bucky, and then that Sheriff came in to clean them up.
Definitely. I mean, I think all the focus was on Void there. They had no idea where Ugg was, just shift walking up. And, Intel's everything. They used that Omen ult for it, and they paid for it.
Such a smart choice by Cloud to just walk forward through that vulnerable, able to find 1 and a 2nd. And if we had seen that Omen, we might have seen a Bucky ace. I am a little bit disappointed that we didn't get that, but what we did get instead was a very exciting round. So,
yeah, definitely. I mean, all the players on SCCU are pitching in to win these rounds.
Seeing now what Team Zygotes are going to do. Notably, they are not pushing down B again. They want to change up the pace a little bit as they're just going for a default, and I like this play.
I do too. Ugg getting 1, but gets traded by Joey. I think, good read. They're just playing for a trade there.
Yeah.
A high-low. And not even picking up the op, just saying, okay, I did my part. and they're rotating to B now, which is the correct call, as Rumioka, the only person there, was rotating out. But
Gonna hear the noise, and he's gonna keep forward, but they're gonna know where he is now, as the Waylay is going to be able to tease him out, and now the spike is going down. Now there's no Bucky to deny it, as the wall is going to come down for that Astra from STCU, as they're going into this counter push, and they have the Sova as well. That's going to be huge in clearing out what little site there is left, because we got the Astra wall to turn this into such a close game. But Moose and Cooksey is going to work together to turn this into a 4v2. Void is there to get Kaibok and keep this run close, but it's looking like Zygotes have tipped the scale in their favor, and the question is whether or not they're going to be able to keep this going. Joey and Moose going to be able to find more kills. Sin going down for the final kill. Zygote's going to be able to take this last round, last kill, and go up 10-9. And as this game looks like it's coming to a close, Zygote's just barely keeping in the lead.
yeah, definitely. I think we see some great back and forths in this half of Abyss. You know, huge upsets, big plays. I think we're really seeing them come into form in this map 3. You know, usually map 3 is when people start to run out of steam and things start to get a bit messy. But I think it's been quite the opposite during this series. Opting for a bit of a default again, a 1-3-1 play, as UG blinded, gets taken out by Cooksies, and Sin is going to go down as well in that situation. And he's hungry for more. He's running up on Rumioka, gets that one shot, and another headshot. That's going to be 3 for this round. And you know, the Zygotes are just going to say, okay, back to basics. We're going B. Cloud here again, looking to make something happen. He's going to find one, but Moose takes him out from heaven. And it's all down to Void in a 1v4 situation. He's top mid. I think he's just thinking to himself, okay, how do I survive this round? He's not looking to push anything, because at this point, there's so many people, so many incredibly powerful ults, and even attempting to get near B site is going to cause him to get shut down by Moose.
Yeah. Zygote's looking so strong now, as they think that they found the hole in STCU's defense. It's B side, and when it's not B side, it's B mid. So we'll see now what Peach is going to tell them. I hope that it's to put some more pressure on that B side, but you know, Zygotes have to be thinking the same thing. We see some pings coming out from some players of Zygotes along that same site, but they are a little bit heavier towards A, so we'll have to see what they end up doing.
Yeah, you know, I think it's just going to be a big discussion about how you are going to format your retakes and your site holds. Cloud has been, you know, incredibly important on that B site for, you know, playing around that, you know, playing around the site, playing around util, making sure that he can get kills before he inevitably dies. And when that doesn't happen, it just becomes an impossibility of retaking, because so many people are going down before and after him. It's, you know, someone either has to assist him in getting those kills, or, you know, as like what is common, just say, okay, just play retake.
Yeah.
You know, maybe take space mid, take space A, make sure that no one's lurking. Get all the info you can before you step into that site.
You know, it looks like Zygote's going for this default that worked so well for them yet again. And yeah, I mean, we see exactly what I was talking about. STCU putting 4 people on that B side, but we see 3 players and Spike along. We see a fake. I love this play by Zygotes. He's running forward. He's going to get taken out, but that's not where this game is taking place. It's going to take place on the A side of the map as soon as this Feist gets teased out. And that's going to be the go-ahead. We see all of the util getting pushed out, and they're going to be able to get the spike down. There's nobody to stop them, as all of these players on STCU are coming away from B.
And we're seeing that Vice ult come out. Is going to stall some time for the retake and possibly get some additional util down, as all players from STCU are here, Heaven and CT, looking to just flood site here. The Yort ult coming out, getting intel. It knows where everyone is at this point. And as they flood out of sight, Joey's going to miss everyone, but JamC is there to assist.
Finally, he's going to be able to get the kill that he needs, but it's too late, because Sind and UG able to put everybody in the ground. Do they have time? I think they just quite do, as STCU keeping themselves in the game 10-11. Yeah. Nobody letting this game get away from them.
Definitely. I mean, it was a great hold on the people that were coming out of CT, but the Heaven players were just left unguarded. No one was looking at them, and they were able to thin the herd there on the site. And UG using that Yoru ult to go into main and pop out there, just another unexpected position for the SDCU players, allowing them to secure that round.
We'll have to see what Zygotes are going to pull into this round. They're going for another mid-hit, and I do like the thought of it, but they have to know that A-side is going to be weak this round. And I wonder how they're going to take advantage of that. Holding this angle, going to fight against Cooksies. Going to get a shot off, but nothing more is going to come of this. And Cooksies doing a good job of just keeping sound and focus towards that B-side without letting SCU in on the information that everybody is towards A.
Yeah, it's just another similar situation. Hopefully, they're able to take out Cloud before he can back away from them.
Look at this. 3 players on STCU staying stoic, staying on this map. A jump peek, going to let them know that at least this Waylay is here, but Waylay has been here all game. The question is, who else is with him? As he keeps pushing forward, and he's going to get put down by Void. Beautiful shot. And Zygote's not quite sure whether or not they want to commit to this. They throw out the shock dart, and I think that they're going to keep going for it, but this is still STCU's strong side. Rumi going to be able to get that shot down, and yeah, this is looking like Zygote's
smoke here, waiting for anyone to push him. But as it clears, he's going to be left exposed here.
Kaibak going to be able to put Rumi down. Jam C going to be able to get another kill, and suddenly this round is not looking so good for STCU. They are down 3-2. Void is going to be able to find one. Is he going to be able to find a second one? He's only on 5 HP, but he's still got a gun in his hand, and it's very deadly. He's going to get put down, but it's a little bit dicey. Kaibak going to try to find Cloud.
In a 1v2 situation, full HP. Kaibak spots him and just takes him out. And that's going to be match point for Zygotes. Breathing a sigh of relief. They don't want to sell this match like they did on Bind. They're just really looking forward. A swift close. They don't want to give any more space, especially on this round when SDCU is at a disadvantage in form of a bye.
Absolutely, and this is not where you want to be if you're STCU. They have the Buckies and they have the Sheriffs. We've seen how deadly they can be. We've seen Thrifties in this match, but something about this round feels different, and it's on STCU to prove me wrong. We'll see if Cloud is going to be able to find anybody here. Moose with his head in Cloud's crosshair, going to be able to find the first kill. And that is what STCU needs. They need this hero rifle to put in the work that it's going to put in. Barely missing that flash. Gonna be able to find a second one and teleports out. Cloud is putting in all the work that he needs to do. Zygote's not gonna win this round necessarily. It's not looking as good at all as it might have been, and UG forced to back up. He's just gonna watch for the flank because there are 4 players of STCU on site now. Zygotes do not want to push it.
And Cookies is gonna push up mid here, looking for a pick. The timing on the A push was off, especially because Cloud was capable of holding it down. So now they're just looking for any other way possible to get back into this round. There are 2 people still A main. Cookies is creeping up, but Rumika is watching him.
Gonna be able to get that shot. And now mid is looking quite roomy indeed, as these last 2 players on Zygotes are gonna have to push on to A. They're gonna be revealed by that recon dart, and now they're stuck between a rock and an UG place, as that Guardian is going to be able to put down this last kill. As long as he's able to find it, yes he is. And Zygotes have one more chance to put this round away, or STCU is going to be able to bring this to overtime, and at that point it's anyone's game.
Definitely, and as we can see, the Zygotes are kind of at a poor bye, and No Paso being at the last round of the match in the regular series is going to call a timeout here. Maybe give them some words of wisdom. I think it's really just going to be about how they can possibly tackle that Cloud problem on the A site.
Absolutely.
B site has become sort of unapproachable as they put 3 people on it. And their one of their strongest players for, the defense there has been Cloud. And No Paso is going to have to put some sage words of wisdom in their mind about the correct approach.
Yeah. I'm wondering if they go mid because, like you say, B, 3 players stacked there, very hard to push. A, Cloud is doing God's work. So, that leaves mid. That might be the weak site, but the question is whether or not STCU is thinking the same thing.
I mean, I would have to agree. I think mid could be a great opportunity for them, especially if they go through connector to heaven there. Cloud is played on site a bunch, and coming at him from that angle would just leave him vulnerable, especially because the majority of his util is stacked for a main push.
Absolutely. And you know what? It does look like Zygotes are hitting that B split. That's exactly what I was hoping that they'd see. I love this aggression coming out from STCU, but unfortunately, the only thing that they're going to accomplish is a little bit of self-damage, and now Cloud going to be called out a little bit with that Sova ultimate. Nobody knows exactly where he is. He's going to be able to find one, but Cookies is there to catch him, and that's exactly what they need. Ugg is there with the refrag, but he's going to be able to find a second one, and now it's all up to this Reyna. It looks like we're going to overtime unless she's able to do something truly miraculous, but Void is there, and there it is, 12 and 12. I feel like every single map that we've been looking for has been going to this.
Definitely. I mean, a map 3 OT is, it's truly like, I don't know, thematic.
Yeah.
Accurate, I guess.
Yeah, I mean,
to be an actual culmination of everything. Map 3 OT is incredible. You couldn't write a better stream.
We've been getting the the omens both previous rounds going to 11-11 before one team was able to take it. So it only makes sense that after 2 such close games that we're going to get a game like this. So we'll see now who is going to be able to take overtime as we see team STCU on the attacking side for the first round of overtime.
Definitely. I mean, as the Zygotes have a chance to secure this early lead with a defensive round, they're going to want to try their best.
Void walking forward. It's going to be Jamc on the defense here for B-side. Kaibok jump peeking, just barely misses this Yoru. Might he get timing if he uses his drone? Unfortunately, Ugg going to be able to find one, and that's going to be the go-ahead for Team STCU to walk onto B as this flash is going to open up Heaven as well. Now, Team Zygotes need to push their way back onto site, but Jamc is there. A really good call from her to stay on site. And Ugg going to be able to get this, going to be able to get 4. Perfect trigger discipline. And now the question is really whether or not he'll be able to get this ace. There's Jamc, going to be found out. Dimensional Drift running out now. Going to be able to get all the information we need. And we've seen so many people get close to aces, and we're not going to see it quite this time as Jamc is going to go down, but Sind is there on the swing. And STCU putting themselves in the position to win this game unless Zygotes changes it up.
Yeah, serious point. I mean, Ugg has just shown, like, incredible skill in these matches. Kind of a dark horse here as he, gets a 4K that round.
Yeah.
Someone who has been kind of, I think, written off by the Zygotes has been crucial in securing important rounds. And as we get into the match point, series point of this game, it's, kind of concerning for the Zygotes.
Zygotes looking to take something towards B-side. Moose trying to walk through mid. Going to be able to find one. Is he going to be able to find a second one? He's not. Void going to be able to take it. And Ugg is there with the operator to have Void's back. And now Zygotes looking a little bit dicey as they're going to commit to this B push. Spike is going to come down, so even though the split might have been unsuccessful, the plant is still going to come down, and just the operator going to be taken out of the hands of Ugg, which is maybe a win, but also maybe not, because a rifle is what you want when you're on the aggression.
Definitely. 4 people here. Ugg making his first approach onto site. He's going to get taken out by Kaibok. We're seeing trades happen all around. It's a 2v2 situation as Cookies and Kaibok hold down the site. Sind, 1v1.
But
And
Kaibok's gonna
Kaibok-
find it. And we're going to overtime yet again. What a close
Kaibok
round.
showing off that he is the dominant Sova in that 1v1. You know, just saving Zygotes from a loss just by like a hair's breadth.
Absolutely. The breath of a rabbit, of course.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because it's small.
Yeah. And so its breast would be small as well. Yeah,
Yes.
that makes sense. So now, the question is, what are STCU going to do? They've already shown their hand about what they want to do in overtime. So, they're just going to leave Spike down, go for mid, and see what Zygotes have in store for them. I like this aggression coming out from the Zygotes. And they're going to get timing a little bit. Void is not quite going to push out. They're going to find one. Cloud not going to be able to find the second one. But yes, he is. Moose down. And somehow STCU have found themselves in such a dominant position yet again. They're walking their way out the site. Are they going to be aware of Kaibok? He walks his way out of the smoke. And unfortunately, he's not aware of Vito's game. STCU up 5-1. Jam C. Quite a bit of a jam, I would say. And I'm not sure that this round is winnable.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, a 5v1, we're looking at a flawless performance here if the SDCU can get this last kill on Jam C.
$100 on the line. He's going to be able to find one. Not going to be able to find the second one. Ugg putting him down. And Zygotes yet again on the back foot. Are they going to be able to do the same defense that we saw before? Or are SDCU going to be able to take it?
Yeah, you know, I mean, I think Zygotes, their attacking side, is definitely the more dominant one, the better one, I'd say. But I think SCCU has just been capable of securing this early lead in OT. And I think is definitely going to affect them mentally as SCCU is just in a more comfortable position than them.
We see another heavy mid aggression, but STCU has adapted. They've got two players towards that mid side, but they're just going to give it up. And unfortunately, Moose not going to be able to find anybody with his flash, but happy to find his life still in his hands as they Zygotes start working their way towards A. I do like this play. They need to be ready for everybody through spawn. Cloud going to be forced back a little bit. Cooksey's able to find Sind, and suddenly STCU not looking like they have too much confidence in this round. If Cloud goes down, it's going to be complete map control for Zygotes. That's exactly what's going to happen in STCU. Down 5-3, down site control, and down hope. They're able to find one, but Moose is going to be able to find the retrade, and it's down to just this Yora and this Teo. To tell you the truth, I don't think they have it.
You don't I mean, never say never. Ugg has been capable of pulling off incredible feats of strength as he goes into heaven. I'm not sure if he's being looked at right now. He gets out for free, but it's still a 3v2. Rumioka getting the first kill, gets spotted by the Sova drone, 9 HP.
All three players stacked up. Rumi going to be able to put this in his highlight reel maybe, but Joey's there, and now it's just up to this Ugg on 9 HP. Anything will do it, and the shotgun's going to come out, but it's not going to come out in time as Joey's going to be able to find him first. And we're going into overtime yet again. The question is not how this game is going to end, but frankly when.
Yeah, I mean, triple OT, it's really just showing that these teams are more than capable of fighting against each other. Definitely not a one-sided massacre as has been previously where, you know, you kind of get a super team in internals. Things have been distributed evenly. Everyone's putting up a great fight. We're seeing a timeout come from Moose. You know, the Zygotes haven't been able to get the advantage in either of these OT series, but, you know, possibly giving some ideas. You know, this isn't a coach timeout. This is his own. He has something he wants to bounce off of him, and, you know, what that'll be, we can only guess.
The question for this overtime has been so far, who is going to be able to take their defense round, because all four of these rounds have gone to the side of the attack. So it's interesting that Zygotes are calling this, because if they win this defense, they've kind of set the precedent that they're going to be able to take the round.
Definitely. And what we're looking at right now is, you know, 3B, 2A essentially. Or possibly not. I mean, I think the B site is, you know, really abused by both teams. It's definitely something to watch out for. But I spoke too soon, as we're seeing a 1-2-2 split here with only Cooksies on the B site, possibly looking for some kills like Cloud before getting taken out.
Seeing a 5-man rush on the site, and Cooksy is going to be able to find one. Kaibok finds another one, finds 2 more, finds 3, and it's all up to this Vito now. Suddenly everything has crumbled for Team STCU, and they're going to go down. Joey, and finally Zygotes have opened up the window to take this round. This is the first time in overtime that they've had the taste of victory in their mouth. Are they going to be able to put it to the test? We'll have to find out.
Yeah, I mean, it's just good read, good calming.
Yeah.
Cooksies was capable of staying alive for so long that he could just wait for his team to show up. And, you know, it's history.
Yeah.
Just great showing. Funneled into the B side, which became their own demise. And as we see it in this attacking side for the Zygotes, they're opting for a mid play here. They really just want to get a feeling of where everyone is. There's 3 people A for SDCU. This B site could be an option here, but only if JMC on that Vice is capable of seeing so.
Interesting that SDCU have left mid completely open, because it's completely contrary to how they've been playing this round this entire game. Are they going to be ready for this player all the way in the back of spawn? And 2 people on a fast lurk, but Kaibok is looking for that. As long as he doesn't look away, he sees the shoulder of one, he finds the head of the other, and STCU in shambles now. This is not looking good for them. They need something now, or Zygotes are going to be able to declare themselves champion of UMD internals. Rumi going to fall.
Getting caught up in that waylay utility. And
All up
right
to
now
Cloud.
it's a 1v4. And he's going to get taken out, and that's going to be the game for Zygotes. You know, I mean, Team C is a bit disappointed, but, you know, you put up the best fight that you can. It's all fun at the end of the day here.
Yeah.
And I'm sure that they're glad that they did all they could.
Yeah.
And I think it was just a great turnaround, especially because Team Zygotes was really faltering there near the end of map 3, and just that timeout was everything for them.
Absolutely.
They had a great call, especially being able to kill those 2 flankers. I mean, it's just great.
Absolutely. I think that Zygotes showing why they're called that, because they are Zygoted taking the championship and internals as a whole. So congratulations to them. Very, very well played by everybody in this match. But yeah, Team Zygote going to be able to take it in the end. I hope that you guys enjoyed that, but that's what we have for you guys in the studio. Just want to thank the sponsors real quick before we go. Thank you to the Philip Merrill College of Journalism, the Recreation and Wellness Center, Recwell, and Playwire. I'll see you guys next time.